First. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all the ages, welcome to, once again, the Club of the Man 1993's channel, as we now bring to you a top 10 special live stream. We are going to be talking about 3 different topics tonight, and you can join me in the live chat tonight to give your thoughts and your opinions as well on these topics as well whatsoever. That was very weak, but I don't care. I just want to use the mic. Ha. But guys, what is going on? This is the Club of the Man 1993 coming at you for just a top 10 stream on a Sunday night. So again, I apologize, of course, it's coming late again. Just had a very chaotic couple weeks. But as I kept saying, for December, October, it was mainly just, top 10s on the women. November was the top 10s on the men and, the best of all time, pretty much. December, as I said, of course, there is one best of the best of 2018 topic, but most of the special live streams, which I'm going to try to do multiple ones, not just one a week. I'm going to try to do maybe like 2 or 3 of these a week throughout the rest of this month, talking about the best of bests from 2018. Of course, the last one will definitely be my favorites from 2018, like my favorite things of all time, and for this past year, and of course some of my least favorites also. But I will also do again, the end of the year usual traditional Q&A, combined also that with celebrating the fact that I got to 1,000 subscribers this year. Can someone give me a hell yeah? But yes, so tonight we're gonna start off with those best of the best streams again. I apologize, it's been late, but again, it's just been pretty busy. Things are gonna get calmer over the next few weeks. Yeah, there's still things to do for the holidays, but the most busiest stuff to get ready for right now has been past, with the exception of my Christmas shopping. But of course, that's on me. But anyways, we're gonna do not 1, not 2, but 3 top 10 lists. So this is going to be a long stream. So grab your popcorn, sit down, and prepare to have some fun here, as we are gonna, we're gonna praise, we're gonna rant, we're gonna ponder over some of the best, the bad, and the ugly, of course, from 2018 in the WWE. Our 3 top 10 lists we're going to do tonight. The first one, the top 10 least improved wrestlers from 2018. This could be male, female, tag team, Raw, SmackDown, NXT UK, 205 Live, NXT, whoever you want. Same goes with the second top 10 list, which is underutilized. People I feel weren't on the least improved side, but were there, but weren't being booked properly and whatnot. Of course, least improved means that their booking just absolutely sucked this whole year, and they're just on a big downfall. Underutilized is like, okay, they're not dead, but they're just in like they're stuck in the middle right now. And of course, the last one, of course, is most improved. The wrestlers I felt, improved this year, definitely. Of course, it could be, somebody, from, Tommaso Ciampa, who, came back from his injury, or it could be someone, who, R-Truth became more entertaining this year. Not a big shot or anything, but something like that, pretty much. It depends on how I feel about it. Do I feel that they were on the improving side? Were they on the least improving side? Or were they more so just on the underutilized side? I mean, it's like, okay, they had a bad year, but, they weren't, it's not their fault completely, whatnot. It's like somewhere in the middle, pretty much. You may agree with where I placed these 30 wrestlers we're talking about tonight, but you may disagree as well. But of course, as always, guys, feel free to leave your thoughts in the live chat as well. Usually I do half and half. Usually I do like 10 to 6 and 5 to 1 for each list before I check the live chat, guys. So we'll stick with that same game plan tonight, but we're definitely going to be up here for maybe about 2 hours, maybe, guys, maybe longer, who knows. But I'm energized. I'm in a good mood. I feel like chatting some wrestling with all you here in the live chat as well. So first, of course, let's check the live chat and see who we got here. We've got, let's start at the top. We've got Lauren saying, hi there. Are these going to be all in one stream? Yes, it is. We got King Larry. Mike! Hey! What a return. For sure, definitely. Yes. Yeah, I was out of town all weekend, having some fun, but it was awesome, but it's great to be back. It's kind of hard to pick these for a most and least improved, which is kind of true. I mean, I mean, again, if you watch all 5 shows as I do weekly, it is definitely tricky. Again, as far as saying who I think was on the improving side, who was on underutilized, which didn't have a good year, but wasn't really used properly, and least improved. Now, of course, some least improved could be put on underutilized or vice versa or whatnot. But of course, you guys be the judge of it, of course. Of course, Larry says, hell yeah. What's up, Jay? Still shocked WWE didn't announce Joe versus Hardy and Orton versus Ray for TLC. Yeah, probably going to get it this week sometime for sure, though. Let's see here. What's up, everybody? As Larry says, I can understand why you're doing 3 streams tonight. Need to catch up. I mean, yeah, true, but then again, this is all kind of on the same board. It's kind of when I do a best and the worst, pretty much. I want to do most improved, least improved. And there's other people I felt need to be discussed as well. So that's why I inserted the underutilized portion as well. I'll be here. Better change my batteries up for sure, definitely. So are you going over 30 people in general? Pretty much. Maybe you should take a break before going to the next 2 streams. I'll be good. Naomi versus Mandy feud, apparently. We'll see how that goes. 2018 was definitely Ciampa's year. No one will survive. You're right, Larry. Well, Ciampa, here's the thing. I didn't want to. Well, you could put some of these people under, of course, most improved candidates for the best of this year for sure. By far, yes. But of course, I didn't want to put all of them, of course, on these lists. So guys like Tommaso Ciampa or Johnny Gargano or a few other people who I felt were more MVP candidates for this year, I didn't put on this list because again, I want to leave them for the bigger honors. But of course, some of them definitely did make this list of who were some of the best this year. But I had to start the most improved, put them under most improved as well. I heard Mel and Truth defeated Hardy and Charlotte at Mixed Match Challenge. Is that true? I think it is, but I did not watch it. Muhaha. I may not pay attention to the 205 Live and NXT since I don't watch it at all. No worries. Can't see your comments, Larry. Apparently, Lauren says Mandy could be most improved on here. She's not on the list yet. I mean, her microphone skills are there, but I still think she has a little bit ways to go. I wouldn't say she was underutilized or not improved or whatnot. Raw could be done. 2018, the year of heel turns for sure. And NXT Ciampa had the best year on Raw with Seth. On SmackDown with Styles, which was not bad ideas. Make sure to definitely, once again, leave your thoughts down, of course, in the live chat. But I'll get started, of course, with the top 10. We'll do least improved, underutilized, and most improved. So, of course, I'll start with my first 5 for least improved. So let's get started, guys, with number 10 on the top 10 least improved wrestlers of 2018, in my honest opinion. This first one, of course, is going to be a little controversial to talk about. My number 10, Roman Reigns. All right. So, saying this properly without coming along offensive and whatnot, I'm going to try to change the wording of this. But the booking of Roman Reigns in 2018 put one of the biggest daggers in the WWE this year. Again, I'm not blaming Joe Anuwai, the man, who he's still my prayers for definitely to recover from his recent round of leukemia. But let's be honest, this year was the year WWE knew that the Roman Reigns push hit a big dead end. They've done everything. He put him in the main event of how many WrestleManias? He beat The Undertaker, of course, at WrestleMania in a bad match. He's won a Royal Rumble. He's won the U.S. title. He came in with the Intercontinental title, which that run was good. Again, I did like that 6-week run he had with the Intercontinental Championship. He had all this going for him. And then, of course, they wanted to capitalize on that big moment of him being the one to slay the beast and win the championship at WrestleMania. Of course, they did not give him the championship at WrestleMania because apparently they were afraid of his reactions. They've gotten that how many times excuse come up how many times since 2015 when they started over pushing him for sure. But once again, the WWE pretty much was just that desperate, doing all these little other paths trying to take, feuding with Jinder Mahal, losing to Bobby Lashley and then beating him 2 weeks later just to get another title shot and whatnot. Just repeating the storyline over and over again. The same thing every single week with him and Brock Lesnar. The WWE was literally on lockdown, in my opinion, until they were going to give Roman Reigns that moment. Of course, by SummerSlam, this had gone on long enough, even though it wouldn't surprise me if the WWE did try to continue this feud between Roman and Brock until next year's WrestleMania as well. But they put the title on Roman in a match that looked like it was Brock. Okay, that's enough. Just take it. Go ahead. Not a convincing match that Roman could have beaten Brock, in my opinion. So I thought the madness would end then. And then, of course, the first night he defends it against Finn Balor, which is like, okay, cool. But then again, it kind of felt like now it was like, okay, Finn got that rematch you guys been whining about for how many years now. So he got that. Now we can just, crap on him all we want now. And then they reunited the Shield in the worst way possible, costing Braun Strowman his Money in the Bank cash-in, and then making it so that Braun Strowman was the villain throughout all that, which was terrible booking, which also hurt Braun Strowman's booking as well. Hint, maybe we'll be discussing him a little bit also. So once again, it made the Shield not feel fun. Now, the segments when Roman Reigns was not involved with the Shield, of course, with Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose, they were fun, such as, of course, the tag team match. The tag title match they had at Hell in a Cell, Rollins and Ambrose taking on Ziggler and McIntyre. By far, either the best or the second best tag team match of this year that I have seen. Definitely, for sure. But even though they were still putting on the good matches, the storytelling around it just still sucked. And it was just WWE just finding the desperate measures to give Roman Reigns that big reaction. Again, I was fine for the most part with Roman's booking in 2017. And of course, part of it was because he was putting people over. But of course, that helped him make him look good as well in the long run as well. Even though, again, that kind of started changing a little bit around the time when he beat John Cena. As a whole thing, like, him and John had all this heat at each other for how many weeks until all of a sudden, like, oh, I respect you now. We're best buddies now. Give me a break. I'm just tired of that booking. But then this year, they just went back to the same old shit pretty much when it came to Roman Reigns. And again, it's very unfortunate that he got that reaction that Vince always wanted after he announces that he is sick with leukemia again. Which, again, I would never wish that on the guy. But I cannot deny and say the booking of Roman Reigns was definitely a huge part as to why the WWE was not that successful in 2018. Raw, mainly. Here's the thing. When you look back at 2018, Raw was the biggest reason why this year sucked. SmackDown Live was good. NXT was good. NXT UK, not too bad. 205 Live improved a hell of a lot, of course. And we'll be talking about some 205 Live stars in this video for sure. But definitely Raw has been the biggest Achilles heel this year for WWE. And one of the biggest reasons why, no one could be better than Roman Reigns. And I thought they would have learned their lesson after Roman got sick, but it just doesn't feel like they've learned their lesson at all when it comes to this, to Raw at all. Like, Raw is doomed. Like, Raw literally now is literally competing to see how much worse it can get every single week. And I'm now looking forward to seeing what we're going to get tomorrow. Of course, now as I say, I more so just watch Raw to find things to rant about. Because again, apparently I'm entertained when I rant, and I want to entertain you guys as well in the live chat. But yeah, that's why Roman Reigns, despite still putting on some good matches, the booking of him this year was just god-awful. And all out of respect, I didn't want to put it higher up on this list, so I put Roman Reigns at number 10, my top 10 least improved wrestlers of 2018. Number 9, Braun Strowman. What can I say about Braun Strowman? 2017 was no doubt about his year. 2017 was the year of Braun Strowman. Braun Strowman has been one of the few shining lights ever since the brand split return for Raw. He came over to Raw as a single star when the brands would return in 2016. After being a member of the Wyatt family and kind of going nowhere. I wasn't really that interested in Braun Strowman. Other than just being a big dude in the Wyatt family, kind of felt like a bland Big Show, in my opinion. But then they started, giving him a little bit of a singles push. And I wasn't like really behind him, but I was interested in him towards the end of 2016. 2017, it didn't get off to the best start at first. He was in the Royal Rumble. He got good going there for about 10 minutes. He was eliminated by Baron Corbin, who, I thought was reasonable to eliminate at the time, with Corbin, gaining some momentum on SmackDown at the time. And then he made him look like an idiot by losing the Roman Reigns at Fastlane. And then he got eliminated like he was nothing by everyone in the Andre Giant Royal Battle Royal WrestleMania 33. But after that, of course, was when his feud with Roman, started back up again. And then like Braun Strowman was the dominating one. The night he beat down Roman Reigns in the ambulance, it's like this guy is going somewhere. That was the birth of Braun Strowman. One second, I need to answer this. Anyways, it was the birth. It was the birth of the Braun Strowman that was on his way to being a main event star. And the WWE, of course, rode out his momentum and eventually turned him babyface towards the end of the year, which is where he definitely should have been. 2018 should have been the year Braun Strowman won the championship. It should have been. Of course, he lost to Brock at No Mercy in 2017. A horrible match. It was a horrible match, but he recovered from it. It kind of showed, okay, not every big man star can be based on not just winning, but have a setback here and there. Especially they're gonna make him a babyface, because if they still kept undefeated as a babyface, then obviously he would became, and he still kind of already is already. Well, at times is feeling a guy who's more meant to be is a man to beat, pretty much, if you know what I mean. But then the Elimination Chamber happened. He eliminated everyone else, then gets eliminated by Roman Reigns pretty easily. And of course, afterwards, they do his little kiss up. This is where it starts seeing that Braun Strowman became a kiss up act in 2018. Because after the match, he ran Roman Reigns through a pod, just because, we like seeing that, just to wash away the bad taste we got from Roman Reigns winning the Elimination Chamber match. He feuded with the Bar for the tag titles by picking a 10-year-old kid as his tag team partner, and then they relinquished him the night afterwards on Raw. He was in Money in the Bank. He won Money in the Bank, but it failed his cash in because, well, first off, he tried to cash in when the Shield got involved. But then again, we're supposed to hate Braun Strowman for wanting to cash in on Roman Reigns. Where Braun didn't fully pull off a heel tactic trying to cash in. But all of a sudden, we have to hate Braun Strowman now because he's feud with Roman Reigns. And they do everything possible to protect Roman once again by having Brock Lesnar come out and interrupt a Hell in a Cell match, which, by the way, again, the beatdown that both of them took was not that brutal whatsoever. That's the other thing too about this year. 1 week, Roman Reigns gets pushed off of a stretcher, and that brutalizes him. The following week, Braun Strowman F5s him onto the steel steps, but he's able to walk out on his own. You kidding me? Like that makes no sense. So then, of course, Roman gets sick. They turn Braun back into a babyface just because we're supposed to forget about that heel run. And he faces off against Brock Lesnar for the vacant Universal title at WWE Crown Jewel. And what happens? Baron Corbin, for some reason, decides to side with Brock Lesnar to target Braun Strowman. Who knows why? And just cause Brock to squash Braun and put the title back onto Brock Lesnar. Because apparently that's what's best for business on Raw. And nobody else matters on Raw, so why have a main event championship around at all on Raw? Braun Strowman has become a guy that literally just dominates everything in his path. But the moment he gets that chance to get his moment to shine, he fails. And he continues to do so. And of course, it's not his fault. But it's getting to a point where it's like the character's getting old. The character is harder to get behind because we know what's going to happen. He acts like the sky is the limit, but then all of a sudden, if your name is Brock Lesnar or Roman Reigns, that ceiling just you get cut off right there. And it's a shame. And he's lost momentum because of it. I mean, in my opinion, he has one more chance, and that's the Royal Rumble to win the championship off of Brock there. I mean, and if they want to win a title there, and he has that title until WrestleMania, and Drew McIntyre takes off him, fine. It puts a fresh perspective into the main event, one of the main event matches for WrestleMania 35, and a fresh feud as well. I would love to see Drew McIntyre and Braun Strowman at WrestleMania 35. I don't think we're going to get it. It'd probably be Drew and Brock, or I've heard maybe Seth and Brock, which would be fine with that. But still, why does that be Brock Lesnar having the Universal title match for the third year in a row at WrestleMania? I don't know. So that's why Braun Strowman's on this list. Yes, he's had his path of destruction this year, but he's never capitalized on anything towards the end of the year. So that's why Braun Strowman, to me, is my number 9 on my least improved of 2018. Number 8. The Undertaker. Yeah, big gong, big bomb dropper there, that The Undertaker is on my list for least improved wrestler of the year. So why is that, though? Well, let's look at this picture. Undertaker, his streak was over after WrestleMania 30, right? Came back a year later, had a match with Bray Wyatt, which Bray Wyatt, of course, could have been a key member to a key person to end Undertaker's undefeated streak. Yes, it kind of had a little more to the legacy of Brock Lesnar, who at the time was a lot more credible and not so boring as he is now, but he was still probably not a heavy favorite either. But he has a match with Bray Wyatt. Wins and proves that he still got it. A year later, is used in this weird feud with Shane McMahon as pretty much Vince McMahon's, handyman and whatnot. But he was inside with Vince again. That story was just so confusing to begin with, whatever. And of course, then he loses to Roman Reigns WrestleMania 33. Has that emotional send-off. Again, I was in a house with people crying because it was a sad. I mean, it was effective, but it was a sad end to Taker's career. John Cena, of course, didn't have a WrestleMania opponent this year. So he called out The Undertaker, told him to get over his ego. Taker goes back and has a quick little squash. He squashes Cena in just like 2.5 minutes, which I'm like, okay, cool, whatever. But he has a match with Rusev at the Greatest Royal Rumble. Why? Why does Rusev need to take another pin to Undertaker? And then he has this random feud with Triple H, which again, it felt more, it was more building for a match with Undertaker and Shawn Michaels, but just built for a main event at Crown Jewel between DX and the Brothers of Destruction. And yeah, it was cool seeing Shawn Michaels get back in the ring, even though I never saw the match, but not that way. The Undertaker, though, of all respect to him, one of the greatest of all time for sure. He was in my top 4, top 3, I believe, for my greatest of all time. The other week when I did that stream, he's definitely one of the greatest of all time. But in my opinion, he's really starting to overstay his welcome. If anything, WrestleMania 34 should have been it. It should have been the last match coming out there, just, having us to have a little more of like, a not so sad ending to his career, if you know what I mean. Because that match, WrestleMania 33, it didn't just suck. It was just hard to watch. Like, Taker just did not look healthy at all in that match. He looked dominant, of course, in that match. Even the match at Greatest Royal with Rusev, even though it was pointless, it was a 9-minute match. It felt like it hit the point of it, pretty much. But, of course, that match with Triple H at Super Showdown, it really showed that Taker cannot go on for a durable match. And the emotions have been up and down. Oh, he's retiring, he's not retiring, he's retiring, he's not retiring. And it's kind of ruining that big send-off moment pretty much. Like if retired, came back years later for one more match, and there's like a story behind it, fine. But it's just really starting to feel he's overstaying his welcome. He's not getting better. I mean, if anything, I do fear for his health whenever he wrestles sometimes. So I had to put him on the list for my least improved at my number 8. The Undertaker, obviously, at number 8 for my least improved of 2018. Number 7, Baron Corbin. So Baron Corbin, of course, going into 2017, was one of the guys I was really excited for. I felt him on SmackDown. He was getting a lot of momentum going. He was being built up as a monster heel, and I was enjoying it. I felt that, okay, the way to capitalize on that is giving him the Money in the Bank contract in 2017, which I gave it to him. But then he started up a feud with Shinsuke Nakamura, which I felt it was one of those feuds that's like, it's not the right time for these two to collide. So that's what kind of got them in a little bit like an awkward position. And it kind of was the reason why both of them started going a little bit downfall to begin with. But of course, everything failed miserably when he failed his cash-in, and he had an awful match with John Cena at SummerSlam in 2017, which, all respect to any Cena fans out there watching this, it looked like a super Cena moment, pretty much, the way he was making Baron Corbin look like an idiot. Of course, Corbin, in general, we're not coming out and wanting to rip Cena to shreds for causing him to fail his cash-in. But it went nowhere with that. And then he had a forgettable U.S. title reign. And then he fell down the tubes. He comes over the Raw, and out of nowhere, he's made the constable of Monday Night Raw to pretty much just, watch over the decisions that Kurt Angle makes. And I'm thinking, why Baron Corbin? What, with how he's gone on a downfall, what credentials does he have to make himself qualify for that position? Would WWE hire someone like me in that position? No. So why Baron Corbin? So I thought, let me give this a chance. I mean, this should be a role he should have killed. And it's just the god-awful scripted booking that just hurt it all. He got into a whole, big man, little man feud with Finn Balor, singing that, oh my gosh, that god-awful segment with the whole thing he sung, Itsy Bitsy Balor, which didn't even, it sounded like some guy just making up something right off on the spot. And it was so scripted. It sounded so childish. It was the same thing every single week until he's pretty much become this guy that, he doesn't feel like a dominating GM. He just feels like a guy just talking, reading from a book or reading from a script and whatnot. His matches haven't been that exciting at all whatsoever. Dear Lord, they have not. He's just not that interesting of a character. And he's starting to, in my opinion, get that white heat on him, which he's more so a guy that's he's not a heel. It's okay, he's a great heel. He's doing his job, but I don't I don't want to cheer for him, but it's okay, he's doing his job as a bad guy. This is the heat where it's just this guy drives me crazy. Get off my TV. I don't want to see him in this position. It's not working. It's just a repetitive booking that is hurting him. The scripted promos and everything. Again, Itsy Bitsy Balor, Finn's Funhouse. There was also a match with him and Bobby Lashley months ago. It was horrible. And then this whole thing with Corbin, Strowman at TLC is just, I'm not buying into it at all. It's been a down year for Corbin. And I had high hopes for him going into 2017. But then, of course, Road Dogg ruined his booking there. Put him on Raw and put him into a role again. If the credentials were built up better for him, he should have been killing this role. But he's not doing anything for me, and I hope he gets out of this whole, corporate position and just moves him on to something else. But we'll see what happens, of course. I mean, I don't know what to do with him if he would get fired as Raw general manager, but we'll see what happens. But number 7 on my list is Baron Corbin. Number 6. Huh? Mine! Nia Jax. In my opinion, if I would have done a top 10 over pushed wrestlers of 2018, Nia Jax would definitely be towards the top of that list. Nia Jax is somebody that could be a very interesting, dominating big woman. And I hate to say this, so I shouldn't say hate to say this, but I hate to admit this. But I have seen some aspects of this heel character she has had recently. And like, if there was just some other things that was fixed about her, like this would kind of be like, the dominating character I would want to see out of someone like Nia Jax. But for the longest time, they half-assed her push, acting like, oh, she's a giant who just always takes it easy on people, it seems like sometimes. And then, of course, the god-awful, the woman can't act. She cannot act for the life of it. It's not convincing, sounds boring, and of course, such as the other week when she's trying to mock, Ronda Rousey and whatnot, it just sounds terrible. Once again, scripted promos is what hurts a lot of people because it's not them. When you let people be them, it feels more real and it's more so to get behind. And she's just sloppy in the ring in general. Her feud with Alexa Bliss. Let's go back here for a second. When Alexa Bliss turned on Nia Jax this year with being a bully and whatnot, Nia Jax immediately got a title opportunity. Haven't we all been bullied here? But we don't get rewarded with you get an opportunity to, get this big honor because you got bullied. When you just had her have a match with Asuka at Elimination Chamber for an opportunity to be added to a title match at WrestleMania 34. But not just that, she lost to Asuka not just then, the following week, and then we got to that, and we got to that. She lost how many times? Yet the moment she gets bullied, she has a title opportunity. And then it was just kind of an unforgettable run with her there. She went away for a few months, came back. She started up some random thing with Ember Moon, and then she teamed up with Tamina, and then she broke Becky Lynch's face pretty much, where she got her real heat from because, of course, Becky Lynch is one of the biggest things going on in the WWE right now for sure. But it's just, she's not talented. She's obviously picked for nepotism. She can't talk on a microphone. Her wrestling ability sucks. And I'm just not thrilled with her getting another push. I mean, I hope to God Ronda beats her at TLC. They better not put the title on Nia Jax. They better not. A lot of people keep saying that if Becky would drop the title at TLC, she would be in the Royal Rumble match and she would eliminate Nia Jax, which I hope happens. That needs to happen. If you want to talk about getting a good reaction, talk about a moment, talk about storytelling, that would be awesome there. But yeah, Nia Jax bores me to death, is cringeworthy on the microphone. Heck, she does this whole thing about you can't be a bully. Now she's being a bully. Storytelling makes absolutely no sense. But of course, she's a big woman. She's related to The Rock. She's Samoan. It's all nepotism. But yeah, that's why number 6 on my top 10 least improved is Nia Jax. Let's check the live chat. Of course, actually, first let's go over my 10 to 6 so far and check the live chat. Number 10 was Roman Reigns. Number 9 is Braun Strowman. Number 8 is Undertaker. Number 7 is Baron Corbin. Number 6 is Nia Jax. Let's check the live chats and see what we got here. Let me see here. Where are we at? Let me see here. Where were we at here. I think we were right here. Um, Least improved to Lauren has to be Bailey, Jinder, Lana, Aiden, and Miz. Even though Miz is great, but this year was just awful. Yeah, things going for him, but yeah, it hasn't quite gotten there. So Miz is definitely a good honorable mention. Most of those were pretty good. Roman isn't least improved, but it wasn't his year. Thanks, Creative, for his short and fucked up title reign for sure. I'm just leaving random thoughts here and there, which is fine. Roman is not the best wrestler or on the mic, but he's better than a few on the roster, to be honest. Just needs to be booked right. Exactly. And Lashley was least improved. We'll get to him shortly. Trashly for sure. Brock is rumored to be on Raw tomorrow to have his first televised match, as they say, in 18 years. I think they messed up there. It was 14 years for sure, which, yeah, right. That's going to really happen. Hopefully, Brock will lose at the Rumble or even Mania. Please, Creative. I'm hoping sooner than later, do it at the Rumble. Who would you like to see dethrone Brock besides Roman? Well, I mean, Roman's not going to dethrone Brock now. Cena, Seth, Dean, Orton, Drew, or Braun become Universal Champion. I mean, I wouldn't mind any of them, but honestly, Seth and Dean would benefit the most. I mean, Orton, I wouldn't mind it, but, not like my first pick, I'd say. Drew, of all those, definitely Drew McIntyre, I'd say the most out of all those. And Braun for sure. WWE definitely likes to troll thus. Why? Because they have all the money. They can do whatever they want with it. I like when WWE brings personal lives and family into the picture. Storyline, family, or lovers, I can understand, but not real life situations like that, which is understandable because sometimes it can be a little too much. I definitely agree. I booked my own Rumble match some hours ago just for fun. His number 30 is 1,000 times better than anything we will get. Thank you for the stupid mixed match challenge for ruining everything, which I'm definitely interested to hear what that is, Larry. Jay's top 5 least improved. Kevin Owens, good honorable mention. Roman Reigns, Nia Jax, Braun Strowman, Nakamura. We'll get to that one shortly. Raw Protest, that's what's up tomorrow. I will definitely check that out. Only reason I watch Raw are for Dean, Seth, Drew, Mickey, Steph, and Alexa, which is fine. I agree with Braun. He's a jobber now, not a monster anymore, to be honest. He should have never turned face. She thinks he's meant to be a heel. True, in some ways. Bray is also on the list for least improved. Corbin as well, and Finn and Sasha be on the list as well as Mickey and Sammy. Oh goodness, Sammy. Let's see here. Lauren had to disagree. The heel turn was the thing that killed Strowman. This year, yes, should have stayed babyface and also win the title from Roman. That's his opinion, which could have worked. 10 stars who should always stay heel and who should always stay face. I believe I had that one written down, but that is definitely a good one. Let me just double check real quick here. I actually doesn't look like I do, but let me just write it down just to be safe. 10 stars who should always be heel. Top 10 stars who should always be face. Good suggestions there. Let me go back to my list there. Okay. Let's see here. Do you think hold on. Are you glad the Great Balls of Fire is no longer around? The name of the pay-per-view, yes. The pay-per-view we had, though, for that show actually was not too bad, but the concept, yes, get that one away. That was awful. Hashtag WWE Balls. Top 10 times fans turn WWE stars heel and face. Could be a hard one, but let's see here. Excuse me. Let's see if I can try that. Do you think the WWE stars have a say in face and heel turns? I feel some do, some may not. They basically turn Strowman heel just to push the Roman agenda even further down our throats, is what I feel. Strowman was definitely white hot as a face at times. Still can't get over how Braun chose a 10-year-old at Mania. Was that even planned? Must have been. Don't know why, but it was stupid. Just like also, if I said before, it probably showed already how much they really think of the Raw tag team division. These days, you can't hate heels. They're just too good at their job. I agree. And I agree Braun would have done what anyone else would have done with Money in the Bank for sure. The kid was actually referee John Cone's son, which I did hear that. Have you noticed anyone who has Money in the Bank cashed in and turns heel? Yeah, of course, because apparently it's a bad thing to do, which no, it's not. I mean, it's what everyone does. It's part of the game, pretty much, you know. Everyone says the Universal title is officially trash now. Oh, it's been trash. Strowman should be Universal Champion. I agree, Jay. Would you rather have just one title again like they did when they unified at TLC in 2013 between Orton and Cena? Honestly, I guess I keep saying, you know, we don't have to have two world champions. We don't have to have two, you know, women's champions or two tag team champions. We can have two mid-card champions, sure. I still agree there should only just be one of each title for the most part. It is trash. By the way, the title doesn't even look important for sure. It looks like they took Shinsuke Nakamura's old pink jacket and used it to put it around the belt. Who do you think will win the Rumbles? McIntyre and Becky, I'd say. No way WWE will let Drew defeat Brock, and it's sad, which would be sad if they didn't. That should happen, though. I have a main title on each brand with the tag and women's championship being unified and exclusive to either show. That's still fair game there, Jay. If Brock main events again, she'll blow her shit. Yeah, I don't want to see him main event again. My booking is Aleister Black being number 30 and having a huge battle at the end with Seth Rollins and Rollins winning the Rumble. Ooh, I like that. I do really like that idea. Having Aleister Black debut at number 30. That music happens, the lights go out, and now since I have a new chair and I can do that, do his rise, but he comes in, he just stares down the Rumble, and he enters. I love that idea, Larry. Larry, that is awesome. I love that. Please make a video on that and get that out there, like that idea out there. I don't think that's definitely an awesome idea. Let's see here. The women will main event WrestleMania. I can guarantee that, which I'd rather have the women main event than Brock. Don't agree with Taker only because he's been part-time since 2011. He's 53, so we can't really blame him for being stiff in the ring, but I still think he's going to retire in 2020 for a 30-year career. Again, yeah, I understand, but again, it's just like, he's around for anything he's been a part of. It just feels pointless to me. I just feel like he's overstaying his welcome. Again, I don't want to put any disrespect towards him, but again, it's just that I feel like he's starting to overstay his welcome for sure. Because when he's around, it just feels like they're just trying to get a part-timer there just to draw a rating and not do nothing with it, if you know what I mean. Cena versus Taker in a career versus career match. If it happened a few years ago, I'd say yes, but now not as interested, I gotta say. Everything kind of screams the women main event in WrestleMania, which honestly wouldn't mind trying. End of an era should have stayed. I agreed, but yeah, Vince does need more money. No more Cena versus Taker. Doesn't need to happen. Larry says 35 should be it for Taker. Have him face Shawn Michaels as his last hurrah and induct him into the Hall of Fame the same weekend, which I'd be fine with that. I was there at 33, and you can't even imagine the booze that was flooded at the main event. Oh, I can only imagine, definitely, especially having Roman win, just making Taker look like an idiot. Taker needs to get away from the ring. He's a legend. I love him, but it's over, which I feel the same thing. What do you think? When do you think Batista is returning? Will he be part-time as well? I don't know what's going to happen with Batista now, because obviously they were teasing up a match with him and Triple H, but Triple H tore his pectoral muscle at Crown Jewel, so that match is probably not going to be happening now at WrestleMania. So we could see Cena, Batista and Orton maybe, but who knows? Wouldn't be surprised if you put Cena on this list as well. I didn't put Cena actually on either one of these lists because he wasn't really around for much, and wasn't awful this year, I gotta say. I mean, he just had a simple storyline going. He didn't really have much to do for Mania, and he came for the couple specials here and there. So I can't put Cena on these lists for sure. Nakamura I put on his list as well. At WWE gave him that U.S. title run, he was done. Oh, we'll talk about Nakamura shortly. Corbin should have been at least a world champion in 2017. Could have been maybe. Now after Ray feud with Orton, will he face Nakamura now? No idea. Cena and Baron was boring for sure. Rusev could be on this list as well. Larry's saying, I have more respect for him than ever before. I don't like the guy, but he does what he wants, and you have to respect that. He doesn't need WWE. At this point, I agree. I watched the video, of course, that Lauren sent me earlier. Apparently, how he even admits that he was wrong about the stuff he said about The Rock, going out to Hollywood, freaking WWE and whatnot. But I mean, I do that. I'm not the, as I always say, I'm not the biggest John Cena fan, but I'm not the biggest John Cena hater either. I respect the guy. I'm just neutral on the guys. I don't hate him, but I do understand why people would dislike him for sure. But I definitely do respect that he does do his best with all the work he does for sure. If WWE becomes Corbin becomes GM of Raw, buy ratings down farther down the toilet for sure. She's gonna gain her charter. She'll be back. And whoever is a real fan of Cena should respect him for doing his own thing with Hollywood. He is not needing WWE anymore, which is kind of true. Make sure to do honorable mentions as well. I will try. The apology to defend everybody. Why can't we have NXT Baron Corbin? Because Vince McMahon wants. Because once again, Vince McMahon has no control under what goes on at NXT. So when it comes to the main roster, he has to make them into what he wants them to be. Just ask several guys on this list. Strowman versus Corbin may not happen at TLC. If it does, I think it's probably just gonna be something quick. If Strowman's were not able to wrestle, or Corbin goes back to SmackDown, he will be better, maybe. Yeah, because that's what the Lex Man says sometimes about her. Nia would be better if she went to SmackDown Live. Maybe we'll see. Everybody's saying, not Nia Jax. She is definitely green in the ring. Nia would be better if she went back to developmental, which would be the case at this point, I'd say. Going to SmackDown for what? To injure our beloved SmackDown women. And Nia and Alexa are BFFs in reality. I knew that. Where's the Nia from NXT? Not here. You don't want Nia as a heel champion. I think it'd be different if her character could be improved. Yeah, if she was improved, but not right now. I don't want her to be champion because why should she if she's not interesting at all in the ring? I mean, yes, as I said before, I see some potential with the heel character she's developed, of course, with the heat she's got on her, but again, she's still green in the ring. She's awful on the microphone. It's like she's not ready to carry that women's division, I feel. Like you can't just throw a title on anybody, in my opinion. Nia was trash in NXT, and she's trash on the main roster, Jay claims. Nia should never be face either. I agree. Have you noticed people who play heels on TV are the sweetest in reality? Some are, yes, I agree. I've witnessed it. You missed my fickle chance in the chat. Really? I don't know how I missed that, Larry. I'm sorry, but fickle. That's because they're characters, pretty much. Thanks for always taking my suggestion. Sure thing. Top 10 psycho gimmicks. I got that one down. Did you hear in interviews earlier this week, Cena said he's turned WWE with his long hair and he wants to turn heel, but he won't because that's creative idea, not his. I did hear that, yes. Are you seeing Bumblebee soon? Maybe, not sure. If there's one title, that champion would be a free agent on both rosters, which is true. She chooses Becky and Styles to win the Rumble, which I'd be fine with Styles winning the Rumble, getting a Rumble victory underneath there. Andrade versus Aleister, LOL, since Selena had both of them. Well, they had 2 matches at NXT. It was Aleister's debut match when Aleister won the championship at NXT TakeOver New Orleans earlier this year, which were both pretty good matches. Thanks for the feedback on the Rumble thing. The chairs thing you did was definitely funny. Oh, yeah, again, it's new chair. I can definitely do Aleister's entrance now. A lot easier. Gotta love Aleister Black. Top 10 future Hall of Famers, got that. Top 10 Rumble winners, had that one. Kane will induct Taker to Hall of Fame, which I definitely agree. Do you have Orton and Joe on this list? Hardy? Orton's on this list for something, but of course it's on a positive note. No, I have Joe or Hardy on these lists though, but could be honorable mentions, I feel, as well, for maybe like least improved or something like that. But I don't think, again, Joe is kind of like in the same situation as Braun, I think, except of course he's still putting on interesting stuff on SmackDown. That's why I didn't put him on the list. Jeff Hardy, I couldn't say anything with him, so I didn't put him on the list. Cena has earned his spot outside. W can't blame him for stepping away for a while for sure. One of her all-time faves. Would you be down for a Shane heel turn and Steph face turn? If it works, sure, give it a try. It's easier to play a heel. It seems so fickle. Jay says, Larry, you here. No man is ever truly good. No man is ever truly evil. It would be epic for sure. Angry Vegan Brian is freaking awesome. I agree. Bray may be on one of the lists. But let's get back to the top 10 lists as we continue on with number 5 from Least Improved, and it's Bobby Lashley. Bobby Lashley came back to WWE earlier this year. I was looking forward to it. I thought, I've seen some of his stuff from like early 2007, 2008. Like this guy was like he had some type of potential. He went away, Impact, did some MMA, came back. I'm like, cool. Until he wasn't talking much. He didn't really say much when he came back. The most we got out of Bobby Lashley at the beginning was the whole thing we interviewed and just talked about his sisters. And he has a feud with Sami Zayn that's based around Bobby Lashley having sisters, Bobby Lashley having Instagram stuff. That Instagram stuff was pretty awful. The obstacle course segment wasn't that great either because it was just Bobby Lashley as a babyface was a big guy going out there who could literally easily dominate somebody. And he come out there, first off, of course, as I must do, bring back old memories, and just look at Sammy and go, Sammy, it's good to see you again, buddy. And just make them both look like fools. And also, as I keep saying, he was a guy who went out there and would just get his ass handed to him every single time. You go out there, smile like an idiot, and then the heels would start beating him up. Okay, nothing interesting at all whatsoever. Again, the best stuff he's done is a feud with Roman Reigns. He beat Roman Reigns, but then all of a sudden, nope, that victory meant absolutely nothing because Roman wins the following week and gets a title opportunity. Still pisses me off to this day, and I feel bad for Lashley. But then they turned him heel back in October, paired him with Leo Rush. And again, as I keep saying, I like Leo Rush in the ring, but I'll be honest, on the microphone, he definitely is annoying. At least they toned down the Lashley chance for sure. But even as a heel, like when he's dominating, he's having fast-paced dominating matches. Cool, I have no problem. But most of the time he's in there just being, a bodybuilder, showing off his muscles, showing off his not getting up and showing off the ass again. But he just brings nothing to the table. Honestly, he's boring. He could be dominating, but he's boring. Not been impressed with Bobby Lashley 2018. That's why I got number 5 on this list. Number 4. Well, sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me. Sorry, no speak English. Our 2018 Royal Rumble winner, Shinsuke Nakamura. As I've said many times, hold on, I need to answer this text really quick. But as I've said many times, the biggest problem with Shinsuke Nakamura, well, first off, he obviously falls under this category of, he doesn't speak English too well. It's all about promos. It's all about comedy with everything when it comes to the main roster under my control. And, of course, they went out of the way to make a mockery out of him, of course, with the many faces of Shinsuke Nakamura on, oh, God, that feud with Nakamura and Mahal was just god-awful. But anyways, as I said, the biggest problem with Nakamura is the fact that they set the bar so high for him in NXT. Like, when he first debuted that match with Sami Zayn, he was instantly labeled as a god. Comes up to the main roster, he's in tag matches, he's just having all these matches that are just making him feel like just another one of the guys up on the roster. Like nothing special, nothing different about him, nothing unique, which is what hurt his booking, of course, in 2017. 2018 comes. He wins the Royal Rumble to challenge AJ Styles. To challenge AJ Styles for the title of WrestleMania. Okay, how do you get him prepared? Having a pointless match with Rusev at Fastlane. And they just never booked him up to feel like a guy who could legitimately carry the main event spot, which I don't blame him for not putting the title on him at WrestleMania. Turned him heel, trying to add more face and heel dynamic to the feud with Styles Nakamura, a feud that I just still feel that was meant to be built up to have one big mega showdown. And once again, it is treated like there were two other superstars having a, multiple match feud, and it just didn't hit out of the ballpark as we all hope so. So then immediately gets demoted down to the mid card, as most people who feud for a championship and lose do. Feud for the U.S. title with Jeff Hardy. And now what's he doing? Barely showing up, barely seeing him around, barely defending the title. It's just a laughing stock. The past few years, the Cruiserweight division felt like it was, the weakest title. Now it's, you could argue the Raw tag titles feel like, the weakest titles now, or like the jobber titles and whatnot. But singles title, sure, it's the U.S. title. I mean, SmackDown's better, but the U.S. title's gone nowhere. Absolutely nowhere. So we're going to see Nakamura feud with Rusev, or are we getting something, since apparently rumors have it Rey Mysterio won a U.S. title dark match at a live event this past weekend? I don't know. I don't know what the heck's going on with the U.S. title. It's a pointless title. Nakamura, again, is just didn't have a good year at all whatsoever. He wins the Royal Rumble, but then his career just goes completely south after that. If I was a guy, I'd get the heck out of WWE and just go back to New Japan. So he can be treated a lot better out there, of course. That's my number 4 for least improved for sure. Is Shinsuke Nakamura, my number 4. My number 3, the Revival. What the hell has happened with the Revival? Yes, all the teams on Raw suck. All of Raw's tag teams absolutely suck. None of them, in my opinion, are built to be credible champions. Even Authors of Pain, who are good honorable mentions for this list, because their whole thing now is based around their manager liking to pee on things. Who, once again, is a heel manager on Raw, but is a babyface general manager on 205 Live. Excuse me. Doesn't make any sense to me, of course, but the one that's taken the deepest dip for sure, no doubt about it, is definitely the Revival. In NXT, yes, they didn't do anything too fancy, in the ring, but what stood out to me, yes, they're bad guys, but they had like that smart psychology aspect to them. They didn't have to, always, cheat and be cowards to win championships. They were able to, come across as smart villains and outsmart everyone. But of course, each of them suffered like a couple-month injury back in 2017. And then this year, they had the Ascension moment, wherever, the Ascension got buried. The downfall of the Ascension, again, was that segment on an episode of Old School Raw in 2015, when they pretty much got buried and beaten down by the APA and the New Age Outlaws. This year, it was, Gallows and Anderson, who are already nowhere to be, seen at like, stardom level, and DX. They pretty much did a similar segment to that at Raw 25, and that was it for the Revival. Now they're jobbing out to the Lucha House Party, with the Lucha House Party getting these Lucha House Party rules, 3-on-2 advantage. Again, why is a heel general manager allowing a babyface tag team to be having like a 3-on-2 advantage or whatnot in these matches? It makes just absolutely no sense. It's continuing the Revival look bad. In my opinion, yeah, there's certain superstars who are not being booked well. I'm like, okay, maybe some will work out. And then there's some superstars who I feel, okay, these guys need to leave now because they're being booked like shit. And Revival is definitely one of them. Again, were they the best in-ring wrestlers? I would say they're like, they weren't, they're no like, Usos or whatnot as far as in-ring ability goes. But the mind games, psychology made them look smart. No flips, just fists. That's all I needed. But nope. Nope. We did not get that for them this year. Definitely in my opinion, the least improved tag team of the year and one of the least improved wrestlers of the year. Let's move on now, of course, to number 2. Number 2, Asuka. Yeah, remember that same person we were praising for all of 2017 about how, Asuka's character was built around winning. She was dominating. She even retired from NXT undefeated to come to the main roster. Came to the main roster, wasn't bad. But like I was saying, looking at the depths on both Raw and SmackDown's women's roster, I felt, okay, Asuka winning the championship at WrestleMania and trying to have a year-long title reign to have Ronda Rousey be the one to dethrone Asuka may not have worked, because I didn't know how Asuka was going to be able to put together, a quality year-long title run with the main roster depth we had. So I was completely cool with Asuka losing WrestleMania 34. She put on a great match, and it was convincing fashion. It looked like it took a lot for Charlotte to defeat Asuka. In my opinion, one of the top 5 or top 4 women's matches of the year. Afterwards, though, she moves to SmackDown. And my thing was, okay, do some different character for her, because her character is not based on winning anymore. Like, something different, like some type of story. Even if Asuka would continue to lose, have some story behind it. Like how it was with Daniel Bryan losing in 2010 with The Miz and whatnot. Like that storyline there. It all worked. But then we have her just parent. Here's where things went wrong. We immediately threw her back into the title picture with Carmella. Someone we know for sure could not convincingly beat Asuka clean. And that just put the dagger into it all, as they brought back James Ellsworth just to turn it once again into a comedy act. Like every week we see Asuka just beat the crap out of Ellsworth. It got old. Then they had that match at Extreme Rules. Oh gosh, with Ellsworth in a shark cage. He pricks the lock, but then he gets his legs stuck somewhere up there, and he's hanging from there, and then Asuka's beat up like he's a pinata, making her look stupid, having Carmella stand from behind her and then beat her like she's nothing and whatnot. And then she starts a random tag team with Naomi, and now she's just like, a dancing, laughing stock pretty much. Once again, just because she doesn't speak clear English. And yeah, she's having a title opportunity at TLC, but once again, how has she earned that opportunity? I mean, yes, she's given an opportunity in a battle royale, but all of a sudden she's able to win a battle royale against everyone else, and she's been built like shit for most of this year. It's just a shame. She went from dominating to a laughing stock. Like she's just a comedy act now. Because once again, apparently people, who can't speak well English don't succeed on main rosters. They can't cut promos good. Won't have a mouthpiece for them. Have a mouthpiece for them to make them look dominating still. And they don't have to talk. And when they do talk, it feels, big time. Which is what happens with Brock Lesnar when Paul Heyman talks for him. Can't get that with Asuka, though. Not going to happen. Hopefully a better year for Asuka in 2019, but 2018 was just not her year. So definitely worthy of being my number 2 on my least improved list. And now, of course, it's time for my number 1. And of course, I know there's some names on this list that could have been on here, but I put them for underutilized. But let's talk about the guy who I felt really hit rock bottom in 2018. Here we go. My number 1 for my top 10 least improved wrestlers of 2018 is Bobby Roode. Remember how I said before how superstars in NXT develop some type of character or reputation, that even whether they're a face or a heel, it was successful and people got behind it in some ways. Bobby Roode came up to the main roster after SummerSlam in 2017. And they first off immediately turned him into a babyface. Just like The Miz, Bobby Roode should never be a babyface. he came across as just a rich, cocky heel in NXT who was just glorious on the microphone. Yes, I will admit he's not the most impressive in-ring competitor, but as a heel, he is entertaining and his promos feel real, like you can get behind him. He comes up. He has a feud with Dolph Ziggler. Didn't really do much for him at all whatsoever. And not for Ziggler either on SmackDown. He feuds with Corbin for the US title. And of course, Ziggler wins the title, but then he drops it and returns 7 weeks later just because. Didn't get that. Which Dolph Ziggler also was kind of like in between for me for this past year, so I couldn't put him on either of my 3 lists tonight. So then Bobby Roode then wins the title in a championship tournament. And he has, again, the most the most forgettable U.S. title reign he could have asked for. He has a feud with Randy Orton, even though it felt like it was him feuding with Jinder Mahal, because Jinder Mahal was trying to, make them mad because, Bobby Roode ranked higher than Randy Orton on a pointless top 10 list. Randy beats Bobby Roode. And again, the story should have been that Orton was just going after Bobby Roode because that's the only title that he's never won. Randy mentioned that, but of course, we had to add that whole Jinder Mahal crap into it. So Jinder Mahal eventually takes the U.S. title off of Randy Orton at WrestleMania in a pointless fatal 4-way match. Goes back to Raw and goes back to catering. I don't even care about Jinder Mahal even talk about it at this point. But Bobby Roode also moves over to Raw, which I'm like, okay, his booking on SmackDown was crap. He's going to go down even further on Raw. And that's what exactly happened. Bobby Roode has barely won a match this year. He wins one match and he gets put into the Money in the Bank qualifying match and gets the Money in the Bank. Why? I don't understand why either. And then he's all of a sudden randomly paired up with Chad Gable. And that's gone nowhere. They just recently had a mini feud with Authors of Pain because they made a urination joke once again. But Bobby Roode a year ago was one of the biggest stars in this company, no doubt about it. Well, not completely a year ago, like a year and a half ago. He was in NXT. He was definitely one of the biggest stars, one of the best heels in this company. And now look at him. He's just lost and lost and lost and lost and lost. He's just an entrance. And now with his robe gone, what's he now to begin with? To me, he was the one who hit rock bottom the hardest. Because they've exposed him so much on TV and they made him just look awful. It's hard to watch, especially with the whole urination stuff. And this thing with him and Gable, hashtag Team Too Happy, it's going nowhere. It's going absolutely nowhere, guys. I'm sorry. I mean, I know probably could have been a more worthy pick, but in my opinion, and Bobby Roode is number one. He is the least improved. Probably took the biggest plunge out of everyone this year. Again, he got thrown in these opportunities again, acting like he's some big star, but he doesn't feel like one. Why was he in Money in the Bank? He should not have been in Money in the Bank. All of a sudden he's a big tag team. And then, of course, they tried to have a feud with him and Mojo Rawley. Remember that? Right around SummerSlam, they had a feud with him and Mojo Rawley. How is that supposed to help either one of them? It didn't. It just happened, and then it just gave no one any momentum going forward. He was just there. And I love Bobby Roode in NXT. I love the guy. But now I just don't care for him anymore. And that's sad. So in my opinion, my least improved is definitely Bobby Roode. So let's go back and look at this top 10 list. And I think I'll check the live chat, but after I check the live chat when I do underutilized, I'll go through the whole list first where I check the live chat again because I don't want to, yeah, I know this is going to be a longer stream. I don't want to be on too long, though. So we got Roman Reigns, number 10. Number 9 was Braun Strowman. Number 8 was The Undertaker. 7 was Corbin. 6 was Nia Jax. 5 was Lashley. 4 was Nakamura. 3 was The Revival. 2 was Asuka. 1 was Bobby Roode. Live chat. Let's see what we've got here. Live chat. Let's see here. Let's see here. Where were we? Um, just imagine the name. Um, Aleister Black on a Titantron, the fans going absolutely nuts for Black at number 30. Maybe I should do a video or something. Yes, do a video. Cena has earned his spot outside WWE. Can't blame him for stepping away. I read that. Oh yeah, Fickle. I mean, I've already read this part. My bad. So awesome. You just did that, Jay, with the song. Yeah. Lashley, Lauren would rank higher, she said. Yes, we all love Black's theme. Sexual Lashley. Really, WB? Really? Oh, please don't even get that farther with him. Trashly. Lashley pushed stop when he turned heel and Leo was at his side. Oh, it's his push stopped as soon as he lost to Roman Reigns, in my opinion. Now he's just boring the hell out of all of us. I think Finn, Sasha, and Elias are in the top. Maybe Sammy, which did not happen. Although Finn and Sasha are definitely on another list for sure. Mike of Mike equals best for business for sure. Dean Owens and Y2J on this list. Actually, they were not on any of these lists. Big Show, Revival, Usos, and The Bar. Naomi, Revival made this list for sure. I didn't say the Usos were awful. They were just there. Big Show, was just there. The Bar, not bad. Naomi was whatever, I'd say. Nakamura's contract is up next year. No speak English. And do you think WWE regrets letting Nakamura win the Rumble this year? Probably. But then again, they got all their money. Who cares? Asuka on here for sure. If only Nakamura defeated Styles this year, he'd be good. True, but once again, was he really built up to look credible to beat Styles, though? That's the thing, though, I thought, though. Anyone who views the gender is blunt to be bad. He has no chemistry with anyone. Of course, top 10 stars who have the best chemistry. I got that. In and out of the ring. I believe I got that already. Top 10 BFFs WWE inside and outside. Let's see here. Top 10 WWE best friends, maybe. Worst title reigns in 2018. We're going to tie into that with other topics as well. Nakamura, I heard, was a savage heel in New Japan, which I heard also. Revival needs to leave. I agree. Drake Maverick should have put him on there here, but I didn't. Because they're on Monday Night Garbage. Yes. Revival need to leave. I agree. Rude was on here, my number one. Gable is on another list. The Club could have been probably honorable mention. Brian, I didn't put Brian on these lists because yes, this heel run is awesome, but I feel like it's too late to consider him improved. But I wouldn't say he was underutilized or terrible either. They make no storylines; they just do whatever they want for sure. Matt Hardy's an honorable mention, so is Kane, Triple H, maybe. I'm hearing a voice inside my head. I repeatedly hear 3 letters, which AEW, yeah, because somebody starts to go to AEW. I think WWE made a mistake for Asuka winning the Rumble too. Not really. I mean, it would have been way too soon to probably or the wrong time to try to end her undefeated streak. But they could have booked her. I mean, again, she was fine losing to Charlotte, but they could have booked her better when they moved her to SmackDown. What surprised me was that Asuka was undefeated on Raw and was jobbed on SmackDown. Watch Asuka win at TLC, which probably would be the second best thing to happen. What are you saying? Larry's saying the Revival AEW, which should happen. I heard about the Ellsworth allegation. Glorious. Rude is a guy who should never be a face ever again. I agree. I'd really like to talk to Bobby Roode and ask him if he knows who he is, which I want to know that too. That would be a nice thing. Elite Squad. What's up, Elite Squad? His booking for Bobby Roode and Chad Gable win the tag titles, and then Roode and Gable lose them. A week or two, he turns heel, and then Roode finishes his program, which is a simple way to go. But at this point, even Bobby Roode turning heel saved him at this point with how bad he was booked this year. That's my opinion. What's up, Mark? Honorable mentions, Ty Dillinger, definitely. Sanity for sure. Odds of Pain, yes, and the club, yes, I agree. With Gable, and then he becomes a main eventer and faces Balor and many other talents, which could have. But again, they haven't really made Chad Gable feel so important either. Like, would they really be able to build Bobby Roode back up that good? Jay's booking for Roode. Roode and Gable win a tag title. They drop to Revival, and Roode turns on Gable and then moves back to SmackDown Live as a heel in a superstar shakeup. Could be a fresh thing there. Almost also, I'd say, is an honorable mention. I mean, they were doing something with him on SmackDown, but they kind of not really done much with him for a while now. So, I mean, I definitely think he is an honorable mention. He had something going at one point, but then not been seen on TV much. Elite Squad's interested to see what will happen to Raw this week. With how much worse it can get, in my opinion, who knows? But thank you to Elite Squad and Mark for joining us here. But yeah, so again, we did the first list already. I'll do the second list. I'll go all the way through it again before talking about the live chat and whatnot. But anyways, let me go into let me read off again the least improved one more time for the underutilized. So my top 10 least improves. Number 10 is Roman Reigns. Number 9 is Braun Strowman. Number 8 is Undertaker. Number 7 is Baron Corbin. Number 6 is Nia Jax. 5 is Lashley. 4 is Nakamura. 3 is Revival. 2 is Asuka. And 1 is Bobby Roode. So that's my top 10 there. So let's do the top 10 underutilized next. Then we'll do top 10 most improved. Top 10 underutilized. Number 10 is Ruby Riott. Now, Ruby Riott, I will admit, has shown a lot of potential, definitely, when she gets her moments to shine on Raw. The problem is, first off, she's just surrounded by the Riott Squad. And the Riott Squad, to me, have just been there this year. Yes, they're not that great. They're not, completely god-awful, but they just feel pointless. And Ruby Riott doesn't feel like she's someone who has not improved, because she's had her moments where she's shined. Like, Ruby Riott, in my opinion, is definitely one of the most underrated on the main roster with the microphone. She can cut a great promo when it counts, for sure. Her in-ring ability is great also, but she's stuck in this faction that's just giving her and other women on the roster something to do, because on Raw, if your name is not Nia Jax, Alexa Bliss, or Ronda Rousey, you're getting nowhere to any title shots at all anytime soon. And Ruby Riott is somebody, once again, was a babyface in all of NXT, came to the main roster, and was pretty much carbon copying what was going on with Absolution on Raw. Again, Ruby didn't have an awful year. But of course, like most women, Ember Moon, Sasha, Bayley, Natty, several others, of course, were just held back because they were not one of the very few who were chosen to be pushed this year in the women's division. And I feel that Ruby Riott has the makings of being a top star. If you get her away from the Riott Squad and let her be on her own, cut the promos, she has the in-ring ability, she just needs the opportunity. And that's why she's on my list as underutilized at number 10. Number 9. This one might not be agreeable, but I kept saying towards the end of last year, beginning of this year, I do see some type of potential in this guy, because he brought out the fire and passion in several, promos that weren't being aired on WWE, but on Twitter and whatnot. Mojo Rawley. Now, again, I know Mojo Rawley's not big of a favorite at all, and I agree he's not one of my favorites either. But last year, when he had his little feud with Zack Ryder after the Hype Bros split up, because he wasn't hype anymore, Mojo was posting these videos on Instagram and Twitter, saying stuff like how Zack Ryder spends more time in Disney World than in the gym, whatnot. But of course, his promos did not sound scripted. You can look on the internet and you see Zack Ryder, he's going on these vacations without having fun. When Mojo Rawley's come across this guy who spends time at the gym trying to improve himself, whatnot, blah, blah, blah. And again, it didn't sound like a 5-year-old crying because, oh, my little friend doesn't want to come over and play with me. No, he sounded like a man who was literally angry, trying to do everything he could to make him and his teammate better, and it wasn't working out. So I just thought there was a lot of truth in there. And his in-ring ability, yeah, is not the greatest, but he had shown some potential to be an aggressive competitor. But this year they moved him over to Raw, and he had some feud with No Way Jose that was literally just the same thing every single week, and now he's just back to catering again. He had a good. I remember earlier this year, I think it was one of Rollins' first IC title open challenge matches. He had a pretty good match with Rollins. I give him the credit, but I feel like he's just gone back to catering. He's shown some signs of not being, like maybe at least a mid-carder. I wouldn't say world champion, but, just a solid mid-card talent, definitely. I mean, I think he has potential. Again, I think he has potential to be a good on the microphone. I mean, again, his wrestling ability can improve, but I got kind of a little behind him whenever I saw those online promos that he was posting. And I thought they were working out pretty darn good, but hasn't got any opportunity. But that's why he's my number 9 for most underutilized, Mojo Rawley. And number 9. Number 8. All because Vince does not like the 10 chance. Ty Dillinger has suffered. You could definitely say Ty Dillinger is definitely under least improved as well. He's just barely been used. And every time he is used, he is treated like just another jobber. Like you could, if you didn't know who Ty Dillinger was, you could easily mistake him as just like another Ellsworth or whatnot. Because he's just on there to eat pins. And then, of course, apparently Ty recently has had surgery on his hand. But they were kind of teasing a feud with Randy Orton and Ty Dillinger. And honestly, it was interesting me. They had Orton really put, Ty's finger in between, a turnbuckle, whatnot, and hurt his fingers. That way, he's only a perfect 9. They could have had him, Orton to try to, cut off another finger, break off another finger, so he'd be a perfect 8, he'd be a perfect 7, a perfect 6, or whatnot. I'm not saying, I would have wanted to see Dillinger beat Orton, but in my opinion, it could have, made him, give him some momentum going, kind of like how it was when the Velveteen Dream and Aleister Black feuded last year. Velveteen Dream lost the match, but he came out of the match looking like a big megastar. I'm not saying that Ty Dillinger ever was going to be a world champion. I thought at most Ty Dillinger could have been a great Intercontinental or U.S. champion. That's all I wanted to see. When he first came to the main roster, I'm like, oh, put him in a feud with The Miz. I'm sure they'd be able to hit it off good. He just hasn't hit that note. And most of the reason why is because Vince does not like the 10 chance, which in some respects is once again fickle. The crowd does ruin some things. Yes, I love the 10 chance for Ty Dillinger, but whenever you're doing a countdown, it doesn't always have to be 10, 10, 10, 10, or even such as earlier this year at the Extreme Rules in the main event, the Iron Man match right here. Everybody kept, doing a countdown after every single minute, and it got annoying. Took away from the match. It's not Ty's fault that happens, it's just what the fans choose to do. But Vince wants to punish Ty just because of that. It's unfortunate again. Could be a great, again, I never expected Ty Dillinger to be a main eventer. I'm not saying, okay, I want Ty Dillinger to main event WrestleMania. No. I just want to see this guy be given the chance to have something to do. He could definitely put on a compelling storyline. And I was still, again, interested in what was going on with him and Randy Orton. Maybe we'll continue it whenever Ty comes back from his hand surgery or whatnot. We'll have to wait and see. Now, of course, I did hear rumors towards the beginning of the year they were thinking about turning Ty heel because he was acting as a heel on a couple house shows, but never came through. But that's why Ty's number 8 on this list. We're most underutilized from 2018. Ty Dillinger, number 8. Number 7, Rusev. Rusev, of course, came into this year back and forth, back and forth. One week he felt like a face. Next week he felt like a heel because the crowd was really behind the Rusev Day stuff. And Rusev Day merchandise was selling out. It was one of the best sales around this year for sure. Even the Rusev Day calendars were going out like a light, pretty much, like being sold out very quickly. But they just did nothing with Rusev. Again, he was the last obstacle for Nakamura, which didn't feel like anything. He pretty much threatened to leave WWE, so they put him into the Fatal 4-Way at WrestleMania for the U.S. title. But who ate the pin? Rusev. And then he got buried in the casket match to Undertaker. More saying it's kind of sounding like Rusev was more under least improved. Same with Bray Wyatt, but I don't know. He's an honorable mention. I put him underutilized because they turned him face, but they've really not done much with him. Even again, the promo he caught Nakamura this past week on SmackDown just felt super scripted. I don't know where to go with him, but Rusev is somebody else who I wouldn't be surprised if he would leave WWE soon. You know, he by this point he should have been a monster main eventer. He should have been a world champion. Actually, here's the thing. Also, reason I put more underutilized. They gave him an opportunity for the WWE title earlier this year with AJ Styles, and he lost the match. Yes, but he proved to be a main eventer. Like AJ Styles brought out the best in Rusev. Like I didn't think Rusev's going to win, but I wanted him to at least have a good performance, and he did. Like that match could have easily main evented Extreme Rules. It could have. It didn't, but it showed Rusev has something to offer in the tank. And I think he definitely deserves some type of singles push. But we're not getting it anytime soon. Well, unless he wins the U.S. title. But once again, him winning the U.S. title is going to feel like Wade Barrett winning the IC title again. He's won this how many times? He deserves better. And he could have had that if they didn't want to push Jinder Mahal in the main event scene in 2017, because as I keep saying, it was supposed to be Rusev getting that title reign that Mahal had, but nope. Not the case, and that is why he is my number 7, or underutilized. Number 6 is Apollo Crews. Apollo Crews was part of Titus Worldwide most of the year. They split up. Apollo Crews has been that victim again of just being called up way too early. I don't know if it's because Triple H saw him as someone who didn't need as much time at NXT, felt he was better for the roster. He's come up. He's got the wrestling ability, no doubt about it. But other than that, you know, he has no character. I agree he smiles a lot, but like Bobby Lashley, you know, these guys look very similar. They could definitely be dominating stars in the ring, wrestling ability. But they've just had, like, you know, Bobby Lashley, they've given him stuff to do. He's just absolutely sucked at it. Apollo Crews, he's just been barely giving any opportunity to do. I don't know, a month or so ago, they're showing like they said they're running, maybe give him a singles push, but now they're doing anything. Although he randomly saved Finn Balor on Raw last week, which just came out of absolute nowhere. Don't know what's up with it, but I just don't see much for Apollo. I mean, it wouldn't be surprised if Apollo got released in 2019 and go to like Ring of Honor or even AEW, which I'm sure if he went to AEW, he would excel. Maybe he's one of the people rumored to leave WWE. Maybe. Who knows? But underutilized, again, great in-ring ability, just needs that character. I was very surprised he didn't get that on SmackDown in 2016. But yeah, it's just a shame that I'm working out for Apollo. I need to answer this. Tuesdays, Wednesdays. Okay. Anyways, but yeah, Apollo Crews, no doubt about it, underutilized at number 5. That's my number 6. Number 5, Bray Wyatt. You definitely consider him another candidate for least improved, but they gave him a shot. I shouldn't say gave him a shot because it wasn't his fault, but you know his feud with Matt Hardy was long, dragging, boring. They had the Ultimate Deletion match. Wasn't bad. Felt they could have dug deeper with it. They finally gave it and turned Bray Wyatt face. Put with Matt Hardy. They won the tag titles, but they were just doing their jobs as being, champions. Winning matches, but they brought nothing interesting to their characters. Ever since the tag titles were dropped, Bray's not been seen on TV. He was at Starrcade and he beat Baron Corbin. They keep saying his return is due soon, but he's not there. Earlier this year, or last year, was when I was watching all the WrestleManias. And I went back and I watched WrestleMania 30 again. The downfall of the match with Bray Wyatt and John Cena at WrestleMania 30 was when John Cena refused to, hit Bray Wyatt with the chair. When he then would hit Harper and Rowan with the chair, that's when I felt things just went downhill for Bray. Because before that, I felt Bray was put on one of the best matches of his career by far. And I still say that match was one of Bray Wyatt's best. I will say my favorite Bray Wyatt match, no doubt about it, is still the match he had with Daniel Bryan at Royal Rumble 2014. That is still, in my opinion, Bray Wyatt's best match of his career for sure. No doubt about it. But they've given him almost nothing, pretty much nothing to do ever since him and Hardy dropped the tag titles. They could have dug so much deeper again with their characters. They showed the potential when it started, but then, they just won the tag titles. They won matches, but nothing else came from that. Who knows? I mean, at this point, why would we even get behind Bray? I mean, sometimes people say if you're away for a while and then you come back, you feel like refreshed and whatnot. Maybe something happened there. Maybe that's what Bray Wyatt needed to do. But hopefully they bring him back as a babyface. I still think his heel character is dead. His heel character is absolutely dead. And if the whole point of him being thrown into the lake of reincarnation was to delete the soul of Sister Abigail inside him, then why would he turn heel again right now? He needs to be a babyface and get on a strong singles run. And when he comes back, I hope it works out for him. But Bray Wyatt is my number 5 for underutilized 2018 because he was given opportunities as the tag champions, and they did their jobs. They won matches, but it could have dug a lot more deeper with the characters of Matt Hardy and Bray Wyatt. That's number 5. Number 4, Chad Gable. Chad Gable was in a tag team, of course, earlier this year with Shelton Benjamin. Had a great, not bad feud at all with the Usos. But then the Superstar Shakeup happens and they split them up randomly again. Why? I don't know. They put Chad Gable on Raw, which I'm like, that's not a good idea. Because if they were going to make Chad Gable a single star, put him on a smaller roster on SmackDown Live. Especially since Raw, once again, the only thing that mattered was Roman Reigns. But, of course, Chad went nowhere, and now he's part of Team 2 Happy with Bobby Roode, which they've already lost to AOP for a tag match, and they also lost to Drake Maverick last week also, so that's even more embarrassing. But Chad Gable's someone who I've always felt has a lot of singles potential for sure. Even a lot of people are saying he looks like a guy who could easily be a future Hall of Famer if they give him the run. Like, he could have been, U.S. champion or Intercontinental champion. He could still be on SmackDown. He could be the one to be dethroning Nakamura for the United States Championship. And in general, American Alpha was both like crap to begin with whenever they came to the main roster. I mean, they won the SmackDown tag titles on SmackDown. They barely defended them. Again, they were being booked out of the Raw tag team divisions right now, or how Nakamura's U.S. title run is. The guy has a lot of potential, but he's not getting the opportunities, of course. He's going from tag team to tag team. Him and Jason Jordan split up. They split up American Alpha. Okay, then they put him with Shelton Benjamin. Not a bad deal there. They split up again. Okay, he's going to be a single star going over to Raw. And Angle himself said, I didn't bring you over to Raw to be, a part of a team, a tag team. You're a single star now. But then a few months later, all of a sudden, him and Bobby Roode are tag teams. He's like playing right around the Rosie. with tag teams, musical chairs with tag partners. It's getting old. Either put the belts on him, give him a good run with the tag team division, or just make him a single star and give him that singles push that he most definitely deserves. But number 4 on my underutilized list is Chad Gable. Number 3, Finn Balor. Finn Balor, of course, has had his moments where he was treated like he was a big star, for sure. Like Bobby Roode, of course, but except Finn Balor has been able to actually put on some good matches that actually were interesting. Bobby Roode is just boring. I mean, even though the ongoing feud with him and Baron Corbin was boring, they had a couple not bad matches. I gotta say, their match Extreme Rules I didn't think was that bad. The SummerSlam match was short to the point, but of course, even though he lost a title match with Roman Reigns, that was a great match as well. He put on some good matches also with Seth Rollins, and when he was feuding with Rollins and Miz for the IC title, they all put on great matches. But they're just not capitalizing on him. Like, they're still treating him like he's just some smiling idiot who apparently enjoys his little fun house that Baron Corbin made for him. Yeah, remember that Finn's fun house? It's another bad segment we had this year. It's just that he had that injury. They brought him back, and then they just never gave him really a chance again. Not even for the mid-card championship. I mean, he probably could have had I know he had a match at WrestleMania with Rollins and Miz, which was an excellent opening match. But now he's just having matches just to, advertise the mixed match challenge. He had how many matches with Bobby Lashley this fall after Lashley turned heel, which could have been an interesting feud, but instead they went nowhere with it. I wouldn't say his momentum is completely dead, but he's starting to get down there. But that's why Finn Balor is my number 3. Now here's the thing. I have a number 2 and a number 1. But I technically think both of these women are tied for number 1. One a little higher than the other, I'd say, but I got to give these two both tied for number 1. Sasha and Bayley for most underutilized. Now, if I had to pick one over the other, I'd say it'd be Sasha, because Bayley's character is there. But like I said, the biggest problem with the Bayley character is they don't book her in a way she needs to be serious. Like, they book her like just some airhead, pretty much, who is like, is that girl that everyone's supposed to look up to and want to be them someday, work hard and eventually, come out with results like she was in NXT, not just have her, have her friend help her win the championship and act like it's okay, and then just be booked to look weak. Can't get extreme, whatnot. And of course, recently also tell someone to go to hell. Like, are you serious? Like, that's really going to make things even better with Bayley. But instead, all year, you had Bayley with Sasha Banks, who, again, I still feel is the most underutilized because Bayley's character is not completely dead to me. Sasha's character is. Like, Sasha's a babyface to me is like how Dean Ambrose felt as a babyface. Like, it can't go anywhere else. Like, we all know Sasha Banks is a killer as a heel. Like she is awesome on a microphone. Her in-ring ability is great. She's more meant to be a heel. Now, of course, if they would have went with Bayley instead of Sasha being the heel, I would have been okay with that too, just to try something different. Okay, women, fine. I still feel, though, that Sasha needs a heel turn more than Bayley, though, at this point. But, again, 2 women, 2 of the 4 horsewomen all year have not gotten a single title opportunity since the Elimination Chamber. They were not in the Battle Royale Evolution to, get a title opportunity, but they were in a pointless 6-woman tag match. Dana Brooke was getting a title opportunity. Lana's getting a title opportunity. The Iconics getting a title opportunity. Like, all these low-card women were getting title opportunities at Evolution. But Sasha and Bayley have not gotten any opportunities since they wrestled in the Elimination Chamber. You cannot be serious. Like, how are these girls still in WWE? With how poor their booking was, with how much they drag on the tension between Sasha and Bayley all year just to do absolutely nothing with them. These two were once the not just the biggest stars in the women's division, but in the company as well. And now they're treated like they're not even they don't even care if they're even there. Like, creator doesn't even care that they're even there to begin with. They have no direction. I cannot tell you the last time I felt that Sasha and Bayley had some kind of direction. Especially Sasha. Again, Sasha I would put a little more over Bayley because I think Bayley can still get away with what she's doing now, just tweak a few things. Sasha Banks again just needs to go back to being with the heel boss character she was in NXT. And I'm sorry I'm starting to rush these lists, but again, I'm getting super tired, but I want to be able to get the most improved out also. But I'm hoping I'm still, discussing these, reasonably. But my number one is a tie between Bayley and Sasha Banks. But if I could truly pick number one, I say it is Sasha Banks for most underutilized of 2018. Number 10, Ruby Riott. Number 9, Mojo Rawley. Number 8 is Ty Dillinger. Number 7 is Rusev. 6 is Apollo Crews. Bray Wyatt is 5. 4 is Chad Gable. 3 is Finn Balor. 2 is Bayley. And 1 is Sasha Banks. Check the live chat really quick. Let me see here. Let's see here. Where were we at? Wow, got a lot to catch up on. Let's see here. Man. Right here. Underutilized talents for Elite Squad is Bobby Roode, Ty Dillinger, Tyler Breeze. That's another guy I mentioned. Tyler Breeze also. Revival and many more. Jinder Mahal, honorable mention from Mark. Bobby Lashley was a badass beast in TNA, either heel and face, exactly. But now Bobby is a coward / boring ass heel for sure. Ruby just doesn't have the wow factor, in my opinion, like Sasha, which, yeah, again, she's no Sasha Banks, but she still has, her own thing. Lashley has as much charisma as a cheese wrap. He does. That is true. Ember Moon also was honorable mention, getting squashed by Tamina. Like, what the hell? What the heel? I definitely want to see more of Ruby Riott. Let her do more promos and put her in an important feud, for sure, but not with the Riott Squad involved with them. Mojo has badass promos, but he is not really that great of a wrestler for sure. Mojo has intensity / killer instinct, and Rollins and Rawley was good. Poor Ty, he is definitely dead. I feel for Ty. Warren does not agree with Dillinger, and Mojo was fine. They never impressed me, and Ty is engaged to Peyton Royce, which is awesome for him. Ty definitely can still have solid matches. She agrees with Rusev. Elite Squad's number 1 is Shelton Benjamin. Not bad number 1, I'd say. I mean, even if they wanted to use him as just like a veteran to help put people over, sure. But again, once they split him and Gable up, they just did nothing again. Like, I thought they should have brought both Gable and Benjamin over to Raw, put more depth in the tag team division. And again, when Jason Jordan comes back, since they're already healed, turn Jordan heel and have them be an alliance. And it could be, a few with, them in the original Team Angle or something like that. Well, then again, Benjamin wouldn't be there for Angle, but you know what I mean. But that's what they could have done there. Let's see here. He's not getting pushed for a while for Rusev for sure. Vince is the number 1 stupid idiot in this business for sure. Rusev and English should have at least had a tag championship reign. I do agree for sure. Rusev thing was definitely the hottest thing around WrestleMania. It's a crime Rusev has had only one WWE Championship match his entire career, which I agree. And the only time he had it, he hit it out of the ballpark with AJ Styles for sure. I hate WWE ruining everything as well, Larry. Last year, Rusev was supposed to defeat Orton at SummerSlam. I heard Money in the Bank, actually. They decided to have Jinder just for that stupid India tour. My goodness, don't get me started on that again. Believe it or not, I was a Rusev fan for years, I swear. When everyone booed him out of the building years ago, I started to like the guy, which I agree. He was a great, anti-American heel. But then, of course, no offense, who ruined it? Not good on that there. Watch us get Rusev versus Nakamura for years time. We probably are going to get it. And that's the complete opposite. Sheldon is the gold standard, and he is catering every week. He is. Rusev is so much better than Jinder, and for sure Apollo. Cruz never cared for either. Reminds him of a Bulker Lashley, which he reminds me of Lashley also, which they have in-ring potential, but once again they're being booked like crap. Gold standard catering for sure for poor Shelton. Who's Apollo feuding with? I don't know. I guess Jinder. Who knows? Cruz is a great talent, but has zero charisma, which is true. Maybe seeing Cruz saving Balor could be start of a push. Who knows? What about Kurt Hawkins? I've given up on Kurt Hawkins. 10 stars who should be or need to be released. Got that one on the list. Apollo was a decent mid-carder in 2016 SmackDown. They could have still capitalized on a little bit more, I felt. Cruz can be a dominant heel if WWE wants to explore that. I'm surprised I haven't tried that yet. I thought he was going to turn heel when he joined Titus Worldwide because Titus O'Neil was a heel, but then when Titus O'Neil started working with Akira Tozawa, then they turned me face, but then that went nowhere. Top 10 stars who need a world title in 2019. That's actually a good one. Top 10 stars who need a world title in 2019 is not a bad idea. Let's see here. Oh god, I don't even have Cruz on my Rumble list. Oh goodness. Bray, I'd say, is least improved than underutilized, Lawrence said. Wyatt should have held the WWE Championship longer than a month. He should have beaten Orton at WrestleMania, I still feel. And again, it should have resulted in Bray being a double turn, Bray being face and Orton being heel, but nope. Bray's face turn has been so bad, even though I felt it was needed. His heel turn to be worse. This year, Bray deleted his cryptic tweet. I did not hear that. Could you see a heel tag team idea of Trashley and Cruz, or do you think it's an awful idea? If they're going to keep booking in the way they are, it probably would be awful, but it had the potential for sure under good writing. Still never seen the Cena and Wyatt match at WrestleMania 30. You haven't? Go back and watch it. It's awesome. Brian did put over Wyatt for sure. Orton joined the Wyatts in 2016 was good for Bray for a while, and then, and Abigail will never debut. No, well, almost did, but then he got sick with the mumps, and yeah. Bray should have been on his own as a babyface. I do agree. He needs a singles push as a babyface. They had the excitement for Bray Wyatt, and now it's deleted because they needed him back. Yeah, pretty much. Again, I still wonder what happened in 2016 when he was teased that face term. They got injured, brought back as a heel, and have them be cocky, annoying prick heels with Leo Rush in their corner. I think it would work if the fans give it a chance. And also if they don't have Bobby Lashley just showing off his body all the time. Gable Stride as a heel on SmackDown with Sheldon was amazing. Could have had a feud between them, which I agree could have, but not the case. Gable and Rude were definitely a good tag team. I like them. Thanks for the reply. I wanted to get an opinion. Watch Gable turn on Rude instead of Rude turning on Gable. Rude needs to turn on Gable. Then again, at this point, it's really going to help either one of them. Bray wasn't so bad as a face. I thought it worked. Have him be the creepy, believable face like Kane, even though Kane isn't really likable, but still, which could have worked. Yeah, again, they gave the tag titles. They did their job in one matches, but they just didn't dig deep their characters as well. Gable could have been revealed as Kurt Sung, which I agree should have been Gable, not Jordan. American Alpha were amazing. I love them in NXT, but on SmackDown, not really. They weren't really both the best on SmackDown. Gable should just go to 205 Live, which he could strive on there, honestly. Jay thinks Balor should be number one, which I say would be a good choice number one also. Finn should go to SmackDown, turn heel, and reform the club, view with Styles, Cena, Hardy, Orton, Bryan, Joe, and Rusev, which would work definitely. He needs that main eventer feel with him when he debuted, which he had, but when he came back, he was not good anymore for sure. Finn Balor, a.k.a. the walking Colgate ad. Yeah, for sure. He always does a smile. Miz versus Finn versus Seth was the best match at Mania this year, she thought. Smiley Finn. Do you think Finn will ever be a world champ again? At this point, no, but maybe prove me wrong. Who knows? Sasha doesn't need to be a boss again. Larry's done with Bailey. Just break up Bailey and Sasha. It's not going anywhere, and it's stupid for sure. WWE needs to take advantage on all the injuries by pushing Balor to the moon for sure, but they're not going to do that. Sasha wanted to go to SmackDown when she should go there. Sasha is definitely meant to be a heel. And they should just drop the Sasha and Bailey love, and they just dropped the Sasha Bailey love storyline. I understand where they were going with that, but then dropped it a week later. Okay, that would have been too weird. I'm glad they did drop that. Yeah, Shawn Benjamin was definitely an honorable mention. Mark. It's on Raw where there's no storylines, but NXT and SmackDown they are for sure. Still rumors to be the 4 Horsewomen match next year, which I feel should either happen at a Survivor Series or Evolution. I feel should happen. Sasha is definitely one of my favorites too. Crap, I complete my thing just screwed up again. Where was I, man? Okay. They didn't split them up so they can be the first women's tag titles report, if that's the truth. No honorable mentions for underutilized or at least improved. I've kind of mentioned a few, but again, we just have a lot still to get to with the most improved. I'm starting to get tired. Let's see here. Let's see here. I'm starting to really lose focus here, guys. I'm sorry. Sasha's title reigns were awful because she never retained. Almost is definitely an honorable mention. Natty, I could say, is an honorable mention as well. Ty really injured. Yeah, he had hand surgery apparently. So much hype for Sheldon's return. Then yeah, look at that happen. Jay's top 5 for most improved: Velveteen Dream, good pick. Drew McIntyre, Seth Rollins, Tommaso Ciampa, and Becky Lynch. A couple of those are not on my list. I mean, they're great choices, but again, they're more so for me for best of the year. Which a couple of them, I'll get to there. I'm sorry, guys. I'm getting so freaking tired, and all right. Anyways, Gable and Benjamin could have been like the new Cesaro and Tyson Kidd. I agree. On Raw Superstar Shakeup for sure. Remember when Benjamin beat AJ Styles? I don't remember that, but wow. Dream Tag Team's got that there. Don't forget the drink. I might need one. Reasons 2019 be better than 2018. Don't know yet. 10 stars WWE/NXT should recruit. Let's see here. 10 stars WWE/NXT should recruit. Maybe we'll see how that one goes. 5 shakeup trade predictions. I can't remember what they made right now. I'll get back to that. Watch Bray return as a heel. Please don't. I'd be down for Bray and Braun. Again, I'll take Bray and Braun, but not I don't want to see the whole Wyatt family reform again. We've seen it happen how many times. Mike and the Aleister Black entrance chair. I love that. Do top 10 superstars switch the job to Lindsay Dorado. Just kidding. Yeah, definitely. No, thanks. Finn Balor needs to win a 2019 Royal Rumble match. Wouldn't be a bad idea at all. Elite Squad. I mean, I did like how they gave him kind of like, the Iron Man, push in the Royal Rumble match this year. But then, of course, went nowhere with after that. He definitely needs a change of scenery, which is a move to SmackDown Live, which I agree Finn definitely needs to go to SmackDown for sure. All right, guys. Again, I'm getting pretty tired, but I want to do the last list. So let's do the last list, and then I'm going to call it a night. So my top 10 for most improved. It's probably going to be a sucky list, but here's what I came up with. Number 10 was R-Truth, more so because, he's still nothing that great at all, but he's got some type of like an entertaining gimmick to him now where, he's on SmackDown and he has this whole thing with Truth TV, and we wanted to get a SmackDown women's title match to pin Carmella and whatnot. Carmella, of course, can't say was most improved or underutilized or least improved because she don't have the best title reign, but, she's an entertaining act with a Truth. But I think he's starting to feel a little bit more like, Ralph, like there's some type of juice going for R-Truth right now. I mean, I'm not watching, but apparently he's close to winning the mixed match challenge. He's He's entertaining. I know I was annoyed with this whole thing, with him, forgetting things in 2015. I was annoyed with that, but on SmackDown they've made it funny. And again, I like Truth TV. I'm feeling, you could use a little mid card push. Wouldn't mind it being so. But I'll give him some credit there, and I'll give him number 10 on my top 10 most improved with our Truth. Number 9 is Rhea Ripley, of course, who's the first ever NXT UK Women's Champion. I like Rhea Ripley. I was, impressed with her in her first round with the Mae Young Classic. The second round, she's developed, a lot more of a character. She's just basically just, that heel who, was not going to pass up, on, getting eliminated early from the Mae Young Classic again. So she came back a lot more prepared, got to the Final Four, had some pretty darn good matches in there. Trying to remember who she all faced. I know she faced Tegan Knox. Of course, Tegan Knox suffered another knee injury, which I honestly, again, would like to see Tegan Knox return and go to NXT UK, and she could be the one to dethrone Rhea Ripley for the NXT UK Women's Championship. I'd like to see that happen. But I was impressed with her as a wrestler before, but of course this year with the Mae Young Classic, she developed like a big villain character pretty much. She got the look of a villain, not as sexy as she was as she was a baby face, but I still gotta say she still kills it in the position that she is in as a heel. And I think she's definitely could have you. I mean, I definitely think it was a good move to have her instead of Toni Storm. I mean, I love Toni Storm. But to me, she already reached that championship level by winning the Mae Young Classic, and of course their classic match with Meiko Satomura. So I felt, in order to build another new star, have Rhea Ripley go over Toni Storm. Toni Storm eventually will be the NXT UK Women's Champion. I can bet you on that. But I think Rhea Ripley though definitely made a lot of improvements to make herself into a big star already for the women's division, and I definitely see a lot of good hopes for her down the line. So Rhea Ripley, the current NXT UK Women's Champion, is my number 9. Number 8 on my list is Nikki Cross. Now, Nikki Cross, of course, was entertaining with Sanity as well in 2017. But, she still wasn't feeling she was too serious of a competitor yet. Until she kind of turned babyface in 2017. It kind of started around the time of the build for the Fatal 4-Way NXT UK. The Fatal 4-Way NXT Women's Championship match after Asuka, relinquished the championship. She then started developing this more. I mean, she always was crazy, but she kind of like in a little more of a direction. This whole thing with the let's play thing, or I love pain, which is what we got out of the feud with her and Shayna Baszler. She was a different specimen, a different type of competitor for Baszler because Baszler loves to deal out pain. Nikki Cross loves pain, and even though she lost to Shayna Baszler at NXT TakeOver Chicago 2, she lost while enjoying what she was getting. She got what she wanted, which kind of put her over at the same time. I always thought she was crazy and whatnot and had that aspect to her, but this year they dug into it more. Of course, even more entertaining with the whole thing with her knowing who attacked Aleister Black and Bruce getting her whole, I know, and she would just play the mind games and laughing at the people who were definitely suspects, such as Ciampa, Ciampa, Gargano, Ono, Sullivan, EC3 also as well. Undisputed Era, she was other she never won the championship, but she was still one of those background characters that were definitely just putting on another act to draw some attention to her. I'm surprised she's still not on the main roster yet, but then again, Sanity is not being booked well either. I mean, I would definitely say them being either least improved or underutilized for sure. Especially Killian Dane, I gotta put out there. But I still think Nikki Cross though really excelled this year with her character as well. So that's why I get Nikki Cross credit at number 8 for most improved. Number 7 is Mustafa Ali. A lot of cruiserweight scores improved. Himself, Cedric Alexander, Drew Gulak, Hideo Itami didn't have a bad year. Lucha House Party on 205 Live, not bad. On Raw, they suck. And a few others as well. I can't say one of them because it's later on my list. But Mustafa Ali was a guy. I mean, Cedric Alexander could definitely be still put on underutilized. He deserves to be more than just cruiserweight champion. He deserves to be, like an intercontinental champion or a world champion, whatnot. Mustafa Ali was a guy that, even though I saw a lot of potential in him, felt like, the best of him was not brought out. But this year, the best was brought out, them having been called, the heart of 205 Live. I literally feel that Mustafa Ali is like a cruiserweight version of Shawn Michaels. Like, he just feels like Shawn Michaels watched him in the ring with, the story he tells. Being like the heart of 205 Live, being that guy who literally, has been built up as like an underdog. He takes some of the craziest bumps, as I always keep saying, that you don't understand how he's able to continue on. He's a smaller guy, but he takes bumps that, looks like could easily knock him out, could easily, just throw him off and hurt him bone or whatnot. And I'm rambling like hell right now, and I'm extremely tired, but I'm trying to get through this stream. He basically developed, show off his ability as he always could, but he also developed like that more so character that, you're able to get behind him. And of course, it's starting to get to a point where things getting very interesting. Him and Cedric Alexander have been close buddies like all these years. Starting to wonder if that frustration is going to start building for one of them. And maybe Ali also, who could get doing it. But I think we're going to get a heel turn soon from either Ali or Alexander. I'm leaning more towards Ali. But either way, Ali has definitely built up a strong character on 205 Live, an entrance being that, that only light that shines in the darkness pretty much. He put a great match again with likes of like, Hideo Itami, Buddy Murphy. He even had, his WrestleMania match with Cedric Alexander was still great as well. And a few others. But I think, there's a couple cruiserweights that really benefited from Triple H taking over. Mustafa Ali is one of them. There is another one, of course. We'll get to him later on. But again, I'm kind of low on time here and kind of getting low on, energy. So I'm trying to keep things moving here. But number 7 is Mustafa Ali. Now, don't hate me, guys, for number 6. My number 6 was Ronda Rousey. I know she's not completely setting the world on fire with what she's doing on WWE right now. But I still think, she still has improved. She has proven that she can still hang in this business. Yes, her promo skills weren't that great when she first came in. However, what I did like, is that they kind of like put that into the story. Backstage, apparently, also, we've heard that Ronda Rousey has been working with Paul Heyman and helping her improve on her promos. And I think they have definitely gotten better as time has gone on. Of course, her best line, of course, was telling off Nikki Bella, saying that the only door you've ever knocked down was the room to John Cena's bedroom. That's the same door he threw you right back out of. Her in-ring ability was never awful either. I mean, it's not great, but I feel that it's what it needs to be for her to be, a believable wrestler, I feel, in my opinion. Again, it's not the best of all time, but it's good enough for me. Her promo skills have improved also. So I got to give her the credit and give her one of the nods for most improved. As, she's, still has some things she can definitely improve on for sure. She definitely could get a little more interesting in the ring. I mean, she's not bad at all, but, I feel like what we've gotten so far out of Ronda Rousey, even if her run WWE is going to be short, what we've gotten has been very satisfying. So I got to give her credit with number 6. Number 5, the second half of the year of Randy Orton. The first half of the year was kind of like 2017. It's kind of bland, not too interesting and whatnot. Yes, he won the U.S. title, but they just made that forgettable because he lost it to Jinder Mahal because the whole thing was just about, oh, Randy's just jealous because Bobby Roode is higher up on that freaking top 10. Let's give me a break. He went away briefly with a knee injury, came back at Extreme Rules, and he turned heel by attacking Jeff Hardy. He then, of course, was targeting Jeff Hardy, claiming that, he feels like, people do not respect him as a legend. So he's going to knock off everyone who has been set very high on the pedestal or whatnot. But it's not just him just being just a heel, just hurting people. He's gone even farther and like pulling out other weaknesses, whether it is, pulling at the ear gauge of Jeff Hardy, which has been one of the best. And the Hell in a Cell match that Orton and Hardy had, excuse me, has been awesome. Was awesome. Definitely, in my opinion, the best match of that show. Who else? Of course, he's talking about Ty Dillinger before. I said, I was definitely getting behind that. Of course, with the finger, whatnot. He's gone after a couple other people, just like hurting them, and in ways that make you cringe, but it's like it's effective as a deadly heel, like he is. Of course, with Rey Mysterio, I mean, I'm interested. I feel like him and Rey can still put on a good match, but again, there's the whole idea of him just ripping off Rey's mask again. It's kind of old. It's not just Randy. It's just like everyone's done it to all luchadors. Oh, they rip off the mask. How many times? But he's definitely a lot more interesting to watch now. Like, this is the Randy Orton that we always need. I mean, as a babyface, he's been able to put on some good stuff. But I feel like, especially at this stage of his career, Randy just gets very bored as a babyface. He loves being a heel more, which I think is what we stick to there. Of course, again, there's other people, I definitely like to see him feud with as a heel for sure down the line. But again, this stuff with Rey is not bad, except for the fact that we're once again getting another thing with the whole ripping off of the mask, which we've seen that 50 times. But I definitely think, based off of definitely in my opinion, being one of the least improved from 2017, I definitely improved this after he turned heel. He's definitely one of the most improved for 2018. So that's why Randy Orton is on my list at number 5. Number 4 is Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins, in 2017 wasn't an awful year for him, but I feel like he took a step down. Yes, he got past Triple H, the man who claims that, turn him into something else that he was not. And then he was trying to, redeem himself and repair, all those damages. He's reunited with the Shield. Dean Ambrose was the hardest person to reunite with, of course. He's gained a lot of trust back, and he, gained that, his respect from the fans. And yes, maybe 2017 didn't feel as, big because of that, but in 2018 was where he was like kind of getting on fire again as a single star because, Dean Ambrose went down with an injury. So, he's getting that respect again. He's looking to be Monday Night Rollins once again and be in the main event scene. And, of course, the match that made me even bigger Seth Rollins fan was, of course, that gauntlet match earlier on this year when he defeated both Roman Reigns and John Cena in the same night clean. He defeated them both clean, back-to-back. And, of course, he didn't win the Elimination Chamber, but, again, he had a great first run of the IC title. Had an all-right feud with Dolph Ziggler, but, again, the matches I felt could have been better, but the feud itself was still all right. I still wanted to see a pay-per-view match between him and McIntyre, but the match we got between him and McIntyre on Raw was actually pretty good. Of course, he got stuck in that whole, Shield booking just to be Roman Reigns' pound puppies, as T and Couponer would call them. But, of course, now we're having the stuff with him and Ambrose, which, I'm saying is starting off not too bad. Could be a little bit better with the Ambrose heel character, but it's still, it still has its good perks and whatnot. But I definitely think that Rollins was definitely, built up to be, he went from, being just a regular baby face to like, a brighter baby face this year, I gotta say. And someone who's definitely, credible to definitely and over enough to definitely be a world champion again. That's why Rollins is my number 4 for most improved of all time, of 2018. Number 3, Drew McIntyre. Drew McIntyre, of course, was in WWE years ago. Was the chosen one, but never worked out for him. He went away. He went to TNA, went all over the world as Drew Galloway and improved himself. Came back, had a brief run at NXT. Suffered a lat injury after he dropped the title to Almas at NXT TakeOver War Games 1. And then he re-debuted on the main roster the week after WrestleMania in the Superstar Shakeup, teamed up with Dolph Ziggler, which kind of made Dolph feel a little more credible. I mean, it would have been nice to see, Drew get a run of the IC title run, but he didn't need to have that, of course. He, was still getting by as, being Dolph's sidekick. He has the look. He has the wrestling ability. He's excellent on the microphone, like very believable. It feels like, he's being him when he's on the microphone. And he's definitely built up to be world champion material. I mean, honestly, again, I want to, like AJ Styles, I'll take it win the Rumble. I'll take Finn Balor winning the Royal Rumble. Or Fio's been mentioned a lot of chat. But I still really think the best way to capitalize on this, now that, of course, him and Ziggler are broken up, I really think McIntyre needs to win that Rumble. And by WrestleMania, we should be seeing Drew McIntyre as Universal Champion. He's worked hard. He's improved big time, in the ring, on the microphone, has the look of a dominating monster, face or heel, even though I feel like sometimes he does show that he has potential to be a top baby face as well, seeing as someone, who, was in WWE before, didn't work out, but he's come back, and I feel like he has gained the respect of the crowd. So, yes, he can still be a heel, but I feel like he can easily transition his character into a babyface character as well, which I think will happen sometime in 2019, but not right away. But I want to see him be the one to, if Brock Lesnar is not drop the title to Strowman at Royal Rumble, I want McIntyre to be the one to defeat the Beast at WrestleMania 35, which I will be in attendance live. Of course, if it's Seth being the one to dethrone the Beast also, I'll take that as well. But number 3 is McIntyre. Number 2, even though this is probably going to be my female superstar of the year, I got to give her credit for how much she improved big time. Becky Lynch. Now, I'll say Tommaso Ciampa's not on my list, but, I knew Tommaso Ciampa was going to be good. Like, Becky Lynch could be good also, but she wasn't getting the opportunities. Tommaso Ciampa, the moment he came back from his injury, immediately got his opportunities, and he capitalized on them. Becky Lynch, though, was struggling. Of course, over the summer, they were building her up by having her be winning matches. For us, the easy babyface men to get behind her. Then they randomly inserted Charlotte into her feud. And then, of course, Becky turned on Charlotte at SummerSlam, but we still, we got behind Becky Lynch. Easily. With her more heel/tweener character. And, just her badass movements. Yes, a few moments here and there come across as the coward, which I don't like. But, when they've not booked like a coward, she is just spot on awesome to watch. Especially, of course, again, her career-defining moment, of course, not just beating Charlotte in the SmackDown Women's Championship last women's standing match at Evolution, the match that should have main evented Evolution. But the moment that officially, in my opinion, made Becky Lynch the Stone Cold Steve Austin of the women's division is the SmackDown invasion angle on Raw, where she beat down Ronda Rousey. She took that nasty punch from Nia Jax and got her face broken, and was bleeding. She still continued on the fight. She literally came across as a dominating badass. On the microphone, she just speaks so much truth, and it's so entertaining. It's like she just throws all the burns, the sarcasm. There is just everything. Becky Lynch is definitely having on the run of her career right now. And, I'm starting to expect her maybe to drop that title at TLC, hopefully to Asuka. But I just think she can capitalize more on her momentum by winning the Royal Rumble. And she goes on to WrestleMania to be the one who hands Ronda Rousey her first loss. Been a great, second half of the year for Becky Lynch. I mean, even you can count the summer too, again, with building her up as, being, on a winning streak, and it'd be incredible for winning the title, having Charlotte to step right in her way as always, and just, taking action on it instead of just, just sitting back. She took action on it. I think Becky Lynch is definitely deserving of being on my list at number 2 for most improved. Number 1 for my most improved. Again, I'm sorry I kind of rushed through these guys, but again, I just got super tired. I just wanted to get the stream done with. But my number 1 for most improved of 2018, in my opinion, is a guy who I never really seen much singles potential in at all before this year. They gave him an opportunity in a division that I was not that fond of until Triple H took over this year. And he has definitely, of all the cruiserweights, surprised me the most, which is why my number one for most improved of 2018 in WWE is Buddy Murphy. When he was with Wesley Blake in NXT, other than Alexa Bliss, never really impressed me much as a tag team, Blake and Murphy. They did some weird thing. They split them up. And they teased it how many times, and they finally split them up. And then we never really saw them again. And I'm pretty sure they were both close to getting released. Of course, Wesley Blake is now with the Forgotten Sons. So far, not too bad in NXT. Buddy Murphy, though, comes to the Cruiserweight division, is in the Cruiserweight Championship tournament. I'm like, what's this guy doing here? This whole simple story of him, having to work extra harder to find that one opportunity, which is in the Cruiserweight division, keeping his weight down. Remember, they had him fail a weigh-in. They had him fail the weigh-in before Grace Royal Rumble. That way there would be a reason for him not to have the match with Cedric Alexander, and he would lose. Instead, they gave Alexander and Kalisto, which was not a bad match at all. Of course, he was kind of a little more of a baby face at first when he came up, but then they more established him as that he only went after Alexander. He had some great matches with Alexander earlier for the championship, came up short. Not bad matches with Kalisto and the Lucha House Party. Again, still my favorite match is still the no DQ match he had with Mustafa Ali earlier, which I want to watch again before I do my top 10 matches of 2018. Even though for a bigger guy, a guy who probably, you wouldn't even think of being a cruiserweight, the guy can still move like a cruiserweight for sure. Like, he takes like some of the highest jumps to get his flips on and whatnot. His Spanish flies are sick. He is brutal. He is physical. And the other thing too is he is not a full out cowardly heel. He is not high behind Tony Nese's back. They both look like a smart alliance to outsmart people, and he's dominating in the ring. He's so much fun to watch. Again, I wouldn't have never expected to ever be a Buddy Murphy fan. But if anybody definitely is the Cruiserweight champion right now, be the one to defeat Cedric Alexander, who had a great run with the Cruiserweight championship, it's definitely Buddy Murphy. Wrestling ability, character-wise, he has something very simple. Again, he has a character that I think he could also transition into being a babyface some point in 2018 or 2019. I think he's awesome. His microphone skills aren't that bad at all either. But again, he's the biggest surprise to me. And in my opinion, the most improved for 2018 is Buddy Murphy. So that's it, guys. Let me go over my list, all three of my lists one more time. I'll check the live chat. I'm checking out again because I am super tired. I want to get some sleep. So for least improved, Roman Reigns, Braun Strowman, Undertaker, Baron Corbin, Nia Jax, Bobby Lashley, Shinsuke Nakamura, The Revival, Asuka, and Bobby Roode from 10 to 1. For Underutilized, Ruby Riott, Mojo Rawley, Ty Dillinger, Rusev, Apollo Crews, Bray Wyatt, Chad Gable, Finn Balor, Bayley, and Sasha. For Underutilized. And for Most Improved, R-Truth, Rhea Ripley, Nikki Cross, Mustafa Ali, Ronda Rousey, Randy Orton, Seth Rollins, McIntyre, Becky Lynch, Buddy Murphy. Those are my lists, my top 10s. For my three lists for underutilized, least improved, and most improved. I'm checking the live chat, and then I'm going to bed because I am definitely tired. Let me see here. Where were we at? Let me see here. Where were we at? Where were we at? I think we're right here. Finn Balor needs to win the Rumble. Needs to we talk about that. Balor and Bryan WrestleMania 35 would be a good match. The Miz sucks without the IC title. He's not awful again, but I feel like, again, I really felt like the feud with him and Bryan should have capitalized with Miz winning the championship first off of Styles, and then Bryan winning at WrestleMania 35. That's was before they turned Bryan heel. Now, again, the Bryan heel turn has been awesome. I mean, again, I still like, how he got to it. I still don't get that, but, the fallout from the transition has been great. And again, I do love what we're doing with heel Daniel Bryan, but on the downside, again, it did kind of get in the way of the Miz's main event run he probably should have gotten. And I'm still not interested in seeing a face Miz versus heel Bryan. I don't think that would work. Truth and Carmella is a funny act at first, but now it feels forced and cringeworthy. Jay Fields was fine. R-Truth is decent. Yeah, Goldust has been gone forever. Truth is a great entertainer, not in the ring, but on the microphone, yes. Tony Storm is cool for sure. Rhea Ripley is hot as hell. I mean, I thought she was better looking last year. She still is decent looking, but I feel like she was better looking before she had her. I mean, I don't know. As a heel, she's great, but don't find her quite attractive, but completely cool with me. B team have improved, but they're back to K right now. But I definitely gave them the credit for for the run there. When face turns into heels, they are more sexy and attractive. It's weird, but it's true for the most part. Play with Nikki, haha. Get Nikki as a regular on SmackDown. I agree. Was Nikki ever an NXT Women's Champion? No, she was not. But she still could have definitely been. I know, as Larry says. From jobbers having a tag champion reign to having an undefeated streak, B Team improved ever since they joined Miz. They did, but once again, after they dropped the tag titles, where have they been since? Can we do a live stream talk about NXT sometime? We will definitely, Larry. Truth and Mel are so funny. I love them. Do you think they'll develop a romance in WWE? Honestly, I'm not a big fan of love stories, but I feel like the Truth and Carmella one could be kind of funny. Like, I feel like it could be like, an improved version of what Santino and Emma probably could have been under better writing. But I wouldn't mind a Truth and Carmella love angle. We'll see how that one goes. EC3 isn't going anywhere. He is just a random mid-carder elite squad claims. We'll see what happens. Of course, I know, again, they've apparently been pushing for him to come to the main roster already, but we'll see what happens with him. Maybe he could be just a mid-carder, or maybe he could be one. Also, Ali has definitely improved a lot. I should send you like WWE love stories people totally forgot about. Oh boy, WWE planning romances in 2019. Ali would be great on the main roster for sure. Who cares about love storylines? Sorry, I'm hard times for no reason. Yeah, I definitely get some rest. You look old, get some coffee. I'm not a coffee drinker, but I'll drink caffeine. But Ali is definitely the best on 205 Live. See if you match, he's great. I say Cedric will be the one to turn, she thinks, which could happen still. I'm sure probably didn't put Alicia Fox on least improved. I mean, she hasn't. How much worse can she get, in my opinion? I agree with Ronda. Even though she's kind of overpushed and not the best, she can get a gold arm bar for sure. Rousey was very good when she first started, but now she's boring kind of. She's all right and she's okay in the ring. Elite Squad claims. You think Cena buried Wyatt? Some ways, kind of yes, but not completely. Orton is a beast for sure. WWE stars who will retire in 2019 do that one. I need to do the CM Punk finisher and go to sleep for sure, guys. We have Lashley versus Elias on TLC, but we don't have Ray versus Randy on the card yet, which is still weird. Yeah, Randy had always been great at WWE, but his 2017 and 2018 was awful. But since he's turned heel, saved his career this year for sure. And yes, Randy was definitely the best. Jeff and Randy was best at Hell in a Cell. Which could have been a main event. I agree. Orange's title run could have lasted until SummerSlam, and Randy is actually a Viper now, Legend Killer for sure. Heel Orton was always worked better, but he's great as a face as well. When given the right material, I still say. Seth is the man for sure. The man versus man would be awesome. Of course, Becky Lynch versus Seth Rollins, not that whole man-to-man match, Balor and Bray Wyatt, don't remind me. Ray versus Orton isn't interesting to me at all. Kind of hate how all the fans are saying it's disrespectful. Guys, this has been done before, and you claim you want this Orton for years now. You're bitching. Come on, guys. I mean, again, I definitely think Ray and Randy has some to it, but again, like they've done something a little bit better besides just him ripping off the mask again, because we've done that how many times. But I still think they can put on a good shares match for sure. Seth is the real man, not Becky Lynch. I'm gonna get a lot of hate. Rollins still in the 18th when we're saying the 17 for sure. Orton and Rollins definitely need a lengthy world title right next year, possibly. Do you think Orton will stay heel till he retires? Which I feel he should, because that's his best. You think Rollins is better as a heel? He was great as a heel, but I think he's really in his element as a baby face right now. So to keep him there. Drew is really the Scottish psychopath for sure. Rollins and Ambrose could still last till Mania if it would be for the Universal title. Again, as I say, have the IC title match TLC, Royal Rumble. They're both in the Elimination Chamber. Culminate with a match at WrestleMania 35. 3 stages of hell, I'd say. Whether first for the IC title, Universal title, or no title, 3 stages of hell at WrestleMania, I still say. Drew is so much better than his first WWE run deserves. A main event scene in a world title run for sure. Can't see Drew as a face either, even though he was a face in NXT. True, but I do think he does have some type of momentum making him a baby face. We'll see though. Drew was a top guy in TNA for sure. Any 2019 face turns, got to think about that still. Mania tickets went on sale Friday. Did you get it yet? Oh, I ordered my Mania ticket almost like a month ago. I did get my Raw After Mania tickets though, also, but we still need to get our Hall of Fame tickets still. That's the only thing. Becky is Lauren's number 1. Becky was my number 2. Buddy was number 1 for me. Becky as a heel saved her this year as well. True, but again, she still didn't feel like a heel. How much are Mania 35 tickets? Depends. I'd say I can't remember how much I paid for mine, but they're not cheap. Put it that way. Yeah, I need to do a 3 to 4 hour wrestling talk session a little earlier, which I definitely wouldn't be a bad idea. Becky and Ronda 35 possibly. Becky meet and greet sold out in fewer than 90 seconds. I did hear that. Hashtag Becky 316. Becky won't be clear in time for TLC. Rumors have it. That sucks. Do you think Becky Lynch's heel turn will last? Was she heel in NXT? She was a heel in NXT until her and Sasha feud. But again, I feel like she is finally slowly transitioning into that baby face role she needs to be. I feel. I want to see Becky main event Mania instead of Brock for sure. Buddy Murphy, my number 1. Yes, Murphy is a good choice as well. I don't get why people are still calling Becky a heel. Buddy Murphy is definitely amazing. He's good. He finally became champion. He deserved. Great show as always. 3-in-1 special. 2-hour stream was well worth it, definitely, which was cool. When are your TLC predictions? Probably, I'd say either Tuesday night or sometime Wednesday. I'd say I'll do TLC. Lauren's checking out. I want to see Matt Hardy on General Manager. Be interesting. Daddy's Gone Night Night. The new Daniel Bryan's the most brilliant thing for sure. Bryan for sure. Listen to Sheep. Fickle. Please separate Bryan and Miz for sure. But he's like he'll be at TLC. Screw the rumors for sure. Yeah. But all right, guys. Thanks again for joining me again. I mean, I was energetic at the beginning of the stream, but I just got super tired again. Just had a long weekend, but it was fun. But I'm gonna get a good night's sleep, get energized, be back up here for my live review of Raw tomorrow. Odds and ends also this week of my different Let's Plays for Hillary at the Ninth Gate, Backyard Baseball, and my Harry Potter Let's Play also. SmackDown review sometime Tuesday night. Again, I'm working Tuesday night, but I'll review it Tuesday. If I have time, I'll also review TLC. If not, I'll also do my TLC predictions. If not, I'll do them Wednesday along with the trifecta. Special live stream, probably either Thursday or Friday. And then TLC review Sunday after TLC. So, guys, once again, who are your most improved, underutilized, and least improved 2018? Thoughts down in the comment section below. And make sure, as always, to click my like and subscribe or comment on my channel. And follow me on Twitter at TheManAir93. Guys, I'm tired. I'm going to bed. I'll see you guys tomorrow for my live Monday Night Raw, which will probably be ranting, but it'll be worth it. So, guys, I'm checking out. Have a great night. Sweet dreams. Peace out, everybody.